Congratulations on making it through another week. We have some water to that.
It is Friday. Yay!
It is. Indeed, it is. Welcome in Gaming Check. Congrats on being second and third. Spiting yourself. Welcome in Psycho.
Spiting Skinner.
Oh yeah, true. You're not Skinner. I'm too used to saying that. Sorry, usually it's Skinner getting in. Welcome in everybody. How are you all doing? Happy Friday. And congratulations Tifa and now Psycho on getting the Eggbird High emote. See, it is not...
I apologize for doubting you. Wait.
You're welcome. So,
did you think I rigged it? Jack is the one that does that.
So, look at my hand out.
Well, I could, but...
Also, I've just realized something. You know how sometimes we need to refocus for autofocus? We'll just exclusively use this growler for it.
It looks so tiny like that.
It's getting smaller. No, because it is.
Can I finally make a keychain out of it now?
No, this is the official autofocus resetting growler now. I just said that. Also, Tifa is unprofessional. Give me your phone. Give me your phone.
Leave my phone there.
No, give me your phone.
Look at my poor phone. It has done nothing.
Tifa is not important enough for
It has done nothing to
No.
deserve being...
No audio interference. No.
You don't even know if that was caused by the phone. For like years, our phones have been in the room with us while we streamed.
Yes.
And once there was a funny sound,
not just one,
which Jack believes came from the phones, and now they get...
Shut up, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Put in the shadow realm while streaming.
If you, at any point in the last 30 odd years, have ever used a mobile phone and you've placed it anywhere near speakers, at some point when your phone was getting signals, like a call, you heard the I can't do audio distorted sounds from analog signals and stuff like this with my mouth, but you will know the sound. And in our, I believe it was the first Super Mario Brothers Wonder stream, you can hear that slightly, and it's not picked up by the microphone. It's in somewhere. And ever since we removed the telephones, which usually just put in a drawer here, it's not happening again. So, am I paranoid? Maybe, but am I right? Yes.
Sure thing.
So break in your pocket within 10 seconds.
No, it's pretty sturdy, so I don't really think so.
Stop bending the growler.
That's what I'm saying. I've had mine on my backpack, not on actual keys.
Yes, finish your sentence. And?
That was kind of a dot, but...
I've had it on my bag.
I can try putting it in a pocket. I think it will survive the majority.
This is now the official...
Just unfold it.
Predestined device to... re-autofocus. I have decreed. There.
How about I make something bigger for that?
No. Why? It's perfect.
Like an egg one.
Why are you size-shaming the growler?
Like a logo.
You could do that. That would be a smart idea. Yes, but have we thought of that yet? No, we haven't. Where were we before I needed to eject your phone from this wonderful streaming room?
That is Friday.
Oh, about the exclamation mark egg thing. So, this is the truth. Tifa can back this up because I've shown it to her. Up until 5 minutes ago, it was technically a 1 in 10 chance. We're using, what's it called? Full transparency mode. We're using Streamlabs chatbot. And in there you can tell the thing to check a text file and then read a random line out of it. So I made 9 lines with a normal egg emote, and then the 10th line is the Eggbird High thing, which you triggered, Psycho. And you did. But for some reason, this chatbot is ass at random. It's not random. No, it
is random. There's just a much higher chance it will read the other ones.
Yes, so it's not truly random. Because the chance it's going to keep picking from the same first 10 or so, or from the first 10% of lines is way too high. That's not random, that's bullshit.
But you haven't even checked the numbers yet. It's only been triggered like 10 times in total, maybe. So the odds weren't bad yet.
I don't care. You have a similar thing if somebody accurately uses our quote system, which also seems to be broken, of wisdom commands, because it keeps spitting out the same ones usually. That's not random, that's bullshit. So, while we were doing the funny stuffs, I quickly went and deleted like half the lines. So now technically it should be 1 in 4, but trust me, the technical 1 in 4 in practice is gonna be more like the intended 1 in 10. Because again, Streamlabs chatbot, the standalone version that you can run locally, is ass at randomization.
But now it's less special.
No, it's not. Now it's actually special because now people can actually get it. What's the point of having a thing that nobody ever gets other than to tell people, trust me bro, it works? No. I'd rather more people get it and can enjoy it than just you once in our entire combined lifetimes. Also, you made this cup very full.
I only got it once after you changed it.
Correct. Therefore proving my point.
Oh, that was an angry cup turn.
Why did you do it that way? Also, why do you have 2 coasters here and 1 cup?
Well, one is technically to also put water on sometimes.
Which is on my side.
Yeah, but sometimes it's on my side.
We're so unprepared for streams. Did anything interesting happen today? I had an important meeting, but I was kind of dreading all week. But as usually happens for me, like an hour, 2 coasters, 1 cup. That's the PG-13 version. As it usually works for me, like 45 minutes before the meeting happened, my brain cells activated and I was able to prepare the slides I needed, and it went really well. When I celebrated myself, because I did well. And that's all I really got to talk about today. It's been very uneventful, thankfully. Boring days can be good days.
Fair enough. I also had quite a boring day. Played lots of Diablo today, and that's kind of it.
Why do you scratch yourself so loudly? How is it that somebody who has no nails because she eats them and has permanent goosebumps goes oh, here's the sound of me scratching my skin. Listen carefully.
You're not even scratching, you're just going over it.
Did you hear that? No, you didn't, because I scratched my skin like a normal person.
Scratching.
Tifa, please repeat what you did.
This is scratching.
Why is your skin so loud? Is it your fingers or your skin? Because you also press buttons on gamepads and keyboards really loudly.
No, that's just the keyboard and
press buttons.
See? No one fixed it up.
Bullshit. Now you did it like a normal person.
I love mechanical keyboards, so... Like the tickety claps.
Outside of a funny haha, Tifa has no rights because this is Japanifornia callbacks to Ace Attorney. Tifa does get to decide things in her own life outside of a stream. But one thing I've not let her ever decide, and that's the keyboards we bought. I've bought the keyboard on that computer over there, and I've bought the keyboard that we're using during streams normally. And these are, as you can hear, normal, rather relatively quiet sounds. Because if it was up to Tifa, we would be using typewriters. And it would be like the click, 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 clack, 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 and I hate that. At work, we used to have this one brand, I forgot which one of the cheaper ones. And those were like wannabe mechanical keyboards. And with like a bunch of people sitting in a line in cubicles, it felt like, you know those lines like, oh, if I had an infinite amount of monkeys, they would eventually write Shakespeare? You know that thought experiment, I guess?
No, but...
It exists. So do you know it?
No.
The answer is yes. It feels like that to me. I hate the clickety-clacks.
I find mechanical keyboards very relaxing when I'm typing on it, and it also feels like I make progress.
Tifa, progress happens on screen, not in your ears.
The sound helps.
My whole skin is itchy, as you can tell. It's being extra today, and my nose is now itchy as well. That's the worst.
I think it's my fault. I've been complaining about how cold it was all day, and it's my own fault because I left all the windows open.
Yeah, she did, which I learned 8
Not
hours
all,
later.
one.
Yeah, the biggest one we have. I do not understand why keyboards need to make sound at all.
They don't need to.
Yes,
but
exactly.
It's just relaxing when it does.
No, it's not.
I accidentally got a mechanical keyboard at work that I received from IT after my old one broke. My colleague was going absolutely nuts.
Of course, because you have loud fingers combined, amplifying the loud mechanical keyboard sounds. No.
So it was nice and replaced it. But it is so... I don't know. Just the sound is chillaxing.
Full disclaimer, I don't think I've ever actually used a good mechanical keyboard. But I've seen that now laptop manufacturers also, some of the higher end models, also now put in mechanical keyboards into laptops. And that's just somehow worse for me. Like the gaming laptops. I've never seen that on like a business model, you know, where people actually type a lot. I would think, just generally speaking, not saying that you cannot type on a gaming laptop, you very much can, but
for people like me, I guess, even though I gotta say the mechanical keyboards that sell themselves as mechanical keyboards that actually try to aim for the mechanical sound are usually not as nice and good. Then the keys are like too high and it's a little bit too much.
Especially in a gaming setting, I assume they also just generally assume that you will buy like full ear earphones, because I'm not a pro gamer, but I'm trying to imagine going to like a LAN party, if they still do those. I don't know. But you're sitting somewhere and you're trying to focus on like I don't know, what do the cool people play nowadays competitively? Fortnite, Counter-Strike Go, something like that. I'm pretty sure competitive Minecraft exists. I don't think it's at the top. Any competitive games, just, I don't know, go to the free-to-play section on Steam. We can figure this out if we want to. And then sitting there and going clickety-clackety-clickety-clack. It's like, wouldn't that distract you from the sounds you try to hear in the game? Dota, League of Legends, Counter-Strike 2. Thank you very much. Thank you, Gaming Check, for being the resident cool person who plays competitive video games.
Reminds me, you still gotta watch Arcane Season 2.
We need to rewatch the first season first.
Oh, we can do that. That was so good.
I don't play them, I just know them. Your secret is safe here, don't worry. But thank you for informing us.
I've never been a huge fan of like these war shooters, with the exception of...
What? No, sorry, you cannot make up genres. What's a war shooter?
Well, a shooter in an actual war setting, like Call of Duty.
First-person shooters.
Oh, fine. First-person shooters.
Yes. I don't like war shooters. Okay.
We have different type of shooting games. With the... Yeah, I feel like it's a legit description. Because
but it's not what she meant. The thing is, it's not what she meant.
Because it covers like Call of Duty and what else do you... What's the other Call of Duty kind of game? Fallout? I think Fallout. With the exception of Call of Duty Black Ops, which had like this zombie mode that I used to love. Like I got that game only for that, and I had like a couple of 100 hours in there. That I enjoyed. And what was the Ghost?
There used to be a short-lived free-to-play online first-person shooter, Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell First Assault Online.
That I also really enjoyed.
That was a pretty good game, and when they were like, yeah, this doesn't make enough money, let's change everything about the game. Instead of making it like, you pick a character that you like, they all had their own abilities, and then you just pick your loadout and then you go shoot the other team. No, it was that simple, it's just very straightforward. And then they went like, no, we don't make enough money, we need to make it more like every other game that already exists, so let's make classes. Then we still played like 2 times, and then a few weeks after that we're like, yeah, no, we don't make enough money, so the servers will be shut down.
Yeah.
That's kind of a shame. The gameplay was really nice.
Other than that was kind of it. Battlefield, yeah, that also rings a bell. Basically games like that.
I think Tifa actually makes a distinction between the settings of a first-person shooters.
Yeah.
Tifa doesn't dislike first-person shooters per se. She dislikes first-person shooters that are set in war.
I mean, basically, yeah, because if you just change it to like a fantasy setting, somehow the entire game already feels different.
So you like not Battlefield.
Diablo, yes.
What's that other game? Borderlands.
Final Fantasy, yeah. Oh, I also don't like Borderlands.
But that's kind of fantasy.
It's more science fiction,
So
isn't it?
Since when is there a Final Fantasy FPS? What?
No, there isn't.
I think in some Final Fantasy games you can play... Final Fantasy XIV you can play in first-person mode, but...
No, the first person usually gets me a bit nauseous. When you like turn around. Of
course it does. Of course it does. Is your middle name Motion Sickness?
How did you know?
I had a hunch. Just based on everything. Based on everything. But hey Tifa, based on everything you know about you. Hey Tifa, let's pretend.
That's right. Yes, Jack.
Hey Tifa.
Yes, Jack.
Based on everything I know about you, I know you're incredibly good at recaps. When you want to be. Is today one of those days you want to be good at recaps?
No, because I kind of forgot what happened last week.
Well, then that's the end of the stream, I guess.
Oh, it wasn't even last week. It was Wednesday. The last time we played Higurashi,
let me press the recap button first.
I thought you already did.
You pay no attention. I went to post stream.
Oh.
Yeah, now you don't see it anymore.
We are still Shion.
Tifa, please remind the wonderful people out there that were here last time but might need a reminder, everybody who didn't get the chance to catch the stream or watch the VOD. What has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 5, Meakashi, also known as Higurashi When They Cry Kai.
Oh yeah, I remember the last time we came back from our part-time job and we were like doop-de-doop-de-doop walking on the street, and suddenly we felt like destruction, as one usually does. So when we saw a motorcycle which was parked badly, we decided to give it a kick.
Not what happened.
Kinda was.
No. So after she had made supper for herself and Kasai, who had come over to visit, the next day Shion was just out and about after doing grocery shopping because she needs to eat too. She's a girl, she's still growing. And she was super happy about everything being great, and she did a spin and accidentally knocked over one of the motorbikes standing there, being parked wrong, by the way. And then a domino effect happened and the bike fell over, hitting another bike, therefore scratching 3 of them. And then...
That sounds familiar. And we were like, woo, destruction, that was so much fun.
They deserved it because they were parked wrongfully.
Which then... After that, the thugs who owned the motorcycle showed up, which was basically the same that happened in chapter 2 back then, but then with Keiichi.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
They took us to this apparently abandoned dark alley.
Sorry, alleyway, as Tifa calls them, because Tifa has an alley weakness.
And started like threatening us, wanting us to pay, stuff like that. Shion, however, knew that this was an alley that would be used by all the locals very soon and was basically stalling for time to get some help in. She wasn't really afraid.
Plus, she wasn't Shion. Shion might have had an issue here, but she is Mion.
And nobody tried.
Mion in the streets, Shion in the sheets.
And nobody tries to rob Shion.
Exactly.
Or Mion.
Yes.
So yeah, we were
Correct.
stalling for some time until people came, had a bit of fun with it, started acting around, until at some point we decided to cry a little bit.
To make it worse for them. This might sound fucked up, and if you think about it clearly, yes it is. Shion gets into the situation instead of dissolving it one way or another. She goes, no, I'm gonna have fun with this. Fuck these guys. I'm gonna make their life hell. I'm Mion, so I'm gonna make this worse. I'm gonna start crying on purpose, so that when people will come, which is just a matter of time, they're all gonna like beat them up because they're gonna be super pissed because they made me cry and attacked me. So here we go.
Basically, so while we were fake crying, Satoshi actually came around and was like, hey, what are you guys doing? Stop this, blah blah.
I love you, but I hate you. Satoshi showed up seemingly out of nowhere and went like, stop that. And then the thugs were like, what you want, boy? And Satoshi was like, and the thugs were like, ugh. And Satoshi was like, and the thugs were more like, ugh. And Satoshi was like,
and then the tug went, bah.
yeah, and then the three of them beat him up. And he didn't fight back. But then other people showed up and made them run away.
And Satoshi was perfectly fine. He stood up.
Dusted off his butt.
Dusted off his butt, which was what we were obviously jealous of. Shion,
What?
as Mion.
Who was jealous of what?
Shion. Shion had a love at first sight moment,
No, she
basically.
didn't.
Yes, she kinda did. She immediately had a crush on him.
Shion from the beginning seemed interested in this boy because he could have just not done anything. He could have just walked away, especially with him not fighting back. But he didn't. He went up there, he showed the courage, he stood up to the thugs, and then he didn't even fight them. He just took a little beating, with, well, it's neither here nor there. He didn't fight back. He dissolved the situation completely at his own cost, and then he just got up afterwards and made sure she was okay, because he saw her cry from a little farther away. And then it turns out that Satoshi has a little quirk, and he goes over to Shmion. He believes she's Mion because he goes to school with her, and went like... And then instantly Shion was smitten.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the pets made her feel like when she was a little girl in kindergarten and everything was nice and she was being praised and Satoshi was just standing there petting her.
This recap is already taking longer than the entire scene, by the way.
Yeah, so get good at recaps and carry on.
So obviously Satoshi didn't introduce himself. Shion realized that Satoshi and Mion knew each other. He had to leave soon after, so afterwards she called Mion and was like, hey, this and this happened.
Who's this boy?
Who is he?
Tell me everything about him.
Mion started explaining that this was probably Satoshi based on the description. They're classmates, so they do know each other, told her. Shion, of course, was curious about this boy, started asking more questions, and Mion told her a bit more about his life, his sister, the family situation, stuff like that.
How he's always spacing off, and he likes to read books, because of course he does. And she's like, he doesn't pay much attention and stuff. Shion gets mad about this, because she tells that to herself, she doesn't actually say it out loud to Mion. With the situation as bad as has been described to her in the Hojo household with the abusive uncle and aunt, how could you not be more curious about how Satoshi is doing? How can you just accept at face value that he's just quiet at school? But she doesn't bring that up. I'm just saying that because so far, starting with the second chapter in second episode, I'm gonna keep calling the episodes. Starting episode 2, there have been moments where Shion goes like, I see that very differently than Mion does. And I think those little cracks in the facade are gonna create an issue at some point. Anyway, so she asked her all about Satoshi.
Shion, obviously wanting to see Satoshi again because she likes him, got her opportunity the next day, a few days later, I'm not even sure anymore, while he was sitting in a park, looking a bit down.
On a swing.
She went over, pretending to be Mion, made fun of him a little bit, and they went shopping together. They had a lot of fun in the supermarket. Turns out Satoshi is a bit clumsy. He doesn't know his vegetables. He doesn't know his items.
Can't tell broccoli and cauliflower apart, just like his little sister.
So they basically had a cute little date.
But what's important here, what Tifa just skipped, Satoshi specifically said he was sad because he messed up at baseball.
Cool.
And while at the store together with him, Shion saw a poster that the Hinamizawa fighters, the baseball team that Satoshi is part of, are looking for people. And now an idea has been born. And that's the end of the chapter.
Basically, yeah. But we already know from previous chapters that Shion is the baseball manager, so I'm guessing this will be the start of how that happened.
Yes. Tifa, I believe together we did a wonderful recap. Mostly me, but...
Absolutely great.
You laid the groundworks.
Amazing.
I wish you did amazing by yourself. I think in the 3.5 years or so since we instated recaps in streams where we play a game that has story, you did 2 that I thought were actually good.
No, a few more.
Okay, 3 then.
Like at least half. At least
That's
half.
a lie. And Tifa, we have video evidence.
Yeah, then go through it and show me all the ones marked.
Tifa?
That were not okay.
Tifa?
And then we can count them.
Tifa, I'm the one that archives the streams. I'm the one that uploads them to YouTube. I'm the one that cuts them before publishing. I'm the one that makes clips when he gets the time. If there's one person that knows, it's me in this relationship.
That is not 100%
Tifa
true.
be like, source?
Yeah, I don't trust it.
Source, youtube.com/@myfavoriteletterisX.
At least the first 2 years of those video materials I cut as well. And I saw no such thing in them.
Because you cut it out then.
I saw no such thing.
Tifa
so your source...
Tifa strategically removed every frame with my face showing even the slightest disappointment.
I think I've already proven that what you say is unreliable because 1, you lying. So whatever you say about the material can no longer be taken seriously. So actual proof has to be shown to this court and it is up to you to prove your statement.
Tifa, hello Malix, happy Friday, how are you doing?
What he said.
Tifa, you made a grave mistake in your wonderful line of argument there. So here's the problem. We've established while playing Ace Attorney that whenever necessary, we're not in Germany, we're in Japanifornia. Ace Attorney, Chapter 5, the last one that we added later, has shown... No. There's no blood on my face. Has shown that as long as there are men in the room, your opinion, because you are a woman, doesn't matter. In case you weren't here or you forgot, there's a scene where a lady character goes, "This person is no longer my lawyer." And then the rest is exclusively men in the room, and they pretend she didn't say that. They just keep going like he didn't just get fired. That's disgusting, by the way, but there's precedence. So, source, me. Thank you, Gaming Check.
That's an unreliable source.
That needed to be a command. Always needed to be, now it will be.
Unreliable. Also, I don't think Jack said it, but congratulations on being first as well, Malix.
Yes, congratulations. Nice. Quickly making that command because it needs to happen yesterday.
Wait, I want a part in this.
Tifa, no. Respect the command, Redeem. No.
I'm gonna scratch extra loud for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Everybody knows you're annoyingly loud when it comes to your scratchings. It's in, thank you very much. Barely any points left. Sore spot for Psycho. Tifa, are you ready to higu some rushies in Shini Mini Mini Mi?
I am ready.
Video games! So it's grating in your ears. I should have said that That was a pretty good one, Psycho. Nice. Yes, bad. Thanks for the points. I'm at nearly 500,000. That's disgusting.
I am down to 518,000, and I had like 980,000.
Pork!
I was so close to 1 million.
We will have gambling streams again. Not gambling, but channel point gambly predictions again at some point. Don't worry. Welcome back.
Oh yeah, Mario Party is great. We'll play it again. You ready?
Always. Born ready.
Sitting straight. I've had my shoulders so stiff.
Sit like a human.
I'm sitting like a human. Ugh.
There, sit.
And it's not human-like.
Do the Shion. Chest out, back straight.
Hey there.
Even the chair went like... Yeah, mine does it louder because mine is a pro chair.
How are you guys doing indeed?
Sit like a human. Thank you, Psycho. See, using his last points to tell you that.
Yeah.
Mwah, on her behalf.
There we go.
Generally, I don't mind what's happening on screen, but if there's one person who I don't want their hand anywhere near the pants line, it's Irie.
Why?
Because it's Irie. Jojo pose. Oh, that hurt my back. Oh.
Next week,
no.
Jack has gone through his back.
No, because I felt the pain twinge and then I stopped moving that way.
That's the thing, I did not feel a pain twinge.
You are the pain twinge in my back. Oh, Mion-san.
Did I forget some knives here?
You done interrupting my lines now, Miss Main Character?
Oh, yeah, you may continue. Oh. I actually did time that badly. I was gonna say it just before you started.
It's one of those streams, everybody. Let's try to get this energy out of her way at the beginning instead of between every single line. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, no, now you can go for it.
Do it.
I'm good.
Oh, Mion-san, we're doing good. Is that our refreshment?
Is that your refreshment? Are you the refreshment?
I am a snack, yes, thank you. You happy with my misery?
Yes. Annoying, isn't it?
Imagine celebrating when you're doing a visual novel on stream and you're not continuing because you're incapable of getting the line out. Couldn't be me. Getting through one line without interruption challenge. Level impossible. Level Tifa.
Excuse me.
I said what I said.
Me?
Yes. May I now?
Yeah, I was just correcting what you said.
May I now?
Yeah.
Oh, Mion-san, we're doing good. Is that our refreshment? Thanks a bunch. You're such a great manager.
I just felt like coming here. I didn't bring this for you, by the way.
Oh, nice.
And don't treat me as your manager without my permission, please.
We'd be a stronger team if you were our manager, Mion. Why don't you apply? As a manager, I mean.
Satoshi-kun smiled at me in a carefree manner. I didn't want to become their manager. It'd be tiresome. I've been coming every week though, so I'm a quasi-manager already? Well, if I feel like it. Anyway, how's Satoshi-kun doing, coach? Is his batting average improving?
Yes, he's doing fine. His batting average is, well, if you buy 3 packs of rice crackers, it's 7 smart.
Does that mean it's 30%? Wow. You're doing great, Satoshi-kun.
I didn't get that at all. Also, is 30% good? Because in any case I can think of, 30% of anything is very little. But then again, I absolutely suck at baseball. So 30% could also be like top athlete level. I wouldn't know.
Same, it sounds too low to actually hit something.
Yeah, I think it's actually good. If any of you know anything about baseball, please tell us. It's not just about the number, Mion. I have to be able to hit the ball when it really counts. It's good that you're aware of your weaknesses, Satoshi-kun. You just continue working on them for now.
Irie signaled to the pitcher, who then threw the ball. Satoshi-kun looked calm, following the ball with his eyes, and then he swung.
Smash! Whack!
The ball flew between the first and second bases and landed in the distance.
That's not bad.
Wow, that's great! Good job, Satoshi-kun! I clapped and Satoshi-kun blushed in response. He repositioned his helmet to hide his face.
Aww, he just...
So cute.
Well, he's gonna practice and when the game is slow.
He's good in practice
Yes.
and when the game is slow.
Yes, as in he doesn't perform at all under pressure.
Oh, like that.
Only when there's no stakes.
Yeah, I felt like the line just got cut off.
Same, but I caught myself before you did.
Okay. Irie smiled compassionately. I forgot it's me. It seemed that Satoshi-kun really couldn't perform well when it counted. While he was usually good, when everybody expected him to perform, he couldn't.
Satoshi like me, for real.
It's like when you know you're really good at something and then people start watching you.
All eyes on you and suddenly you go, am I breathing correctly? Does this look weird? Am I looking weird right now?
Like with everything at work, with something else, or just simple typing. Suddenly it doesn't work.
When you're streaming a video game that is about you reading lines and all you need to do is read the words one by one and speak them out loud and then you go, well, he was usually good.
An overboarder.
What? Except for being good part, but...
I don't think it was because of nervousness. He just couldn't do it.
I'll allow it.
I think it's a perfect fit for Satoshi-kun's character. He seems calm at first glance, but he's actually slow. Numerically speaking, you're a great player. But you need to be able to hit the ball even when things get serious. That's why you were an easy out in the match with the Okita Jaguars the other day.
No, I'm sorry. We need to talk about this. I didn't know Higurashi had this many crossovers. I didn't know the Yukita Yu-Gi-Ohs were in this. It's time to duel.
Suddenly you want to pitch, but the ball is turned by the blue eyes.
The ball is actually Koribo, I think was the cute fuzzy little creature. I'm a dark magician.
You activated my trap card. You did not throw the ball. I threw the ball.
The trap card is I get to break your shins. I mean, it's a dark game. Can I have the last line again without Yu-Gi-Oh?
That's why you were an easy out in the match with the Yukita Jaguars the other day.
The amount of people in Hinamizawa that happen to be in the story with slight speech impediments is crazy. Shut up! I know that. If he'd been able to hit the ball then, he would have been a hero. What a shame.
A hit could have put the offense into the lead, or at least given them an extension. That was when Satoshi-kun came up to bat. Irie wanted him to live up to everybody's expectations. But statistically, that wasn't likely to happen. Yet Irie insisted on giving him a chance in spite of the fact that all the team members had suggested a pinch hitter.
I'm sorry, but when they came up with the term pinch hitter, they knew what they were doing. Say pinch hitter fast.
Pinch hitter, 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 pinch hitter.
Yeah, if you're a pinch hitter, I think you need more fiber in your life.
I did not hear that at all. I think only you heard that.
Dabbing on the haters, but don't hear pinch hitter. I think that's a bowling term.
Ah! It would have been perfect if you could have hit it. Why didn't you? Why can't you hit the ball in a situation when it really matters?
There was nothing I could do. I know I'm weak in a situation like that. I thought a pinch hitter was a better idea too.
It's not about the match, it's about you, Satoshi-kun. You need to be more aggressive. Shouldn't you have thought the opposite way? Shouldn't you have insisted that you'd come up to bat no matter what everybody else said? I can't believe you wanted to give away the chance to some pinch hitter. Why are you so weak like that?
I feel like I've been in similar situations to Satoshi, and I know tough love is a thing that exists, but I don't believe this conversation would have made me feel any better about myself at all. That's what I'm always telling him. I know that's one of his good points too, but...
You can be a gentleman at other times, but when playing games you should be a demon. I think all men should have those two sides to them. What? Excuse me, you turn into Satan himself when playing Mario Party.
So I have all the qualities you want?
No.
Wow. You could have waited until stream was over to say that. It's fine, I'll live.
There's one quality you're missing. You need to be more into like sit popping and stuff like that. And be a little bit less of a wimp when I want to pop yours.
What I'm hearing is, Jack, you are perfect. Because I don't consider those weaknesses.
Because the moment I go...
No, don't touch me.
Looks like it hurts.
Because you do hurt me. I would. She's not reading her line.
For the love of God. I'm just saying. I already had my line. I can't do my line because you didn't press A.
You didn't say the last sentence.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, that's when I said that you were Satan.
Then say it again to bring me back into it.
Press A.
Sure, take your time.
Like
it's cool.
You're naive to Hinamizawa, but
The first letter is a Y.
Yeah, the T is silent. You're naive to Hinam... I'm saying that in my head. You're native to Hinamizawa, so never forget that you had the demon's blood running through your veins. Are you listening, Satoshi-kun?
I am. I'm not sure, but...
What aren't you sure about? We're talking about you. So... Whoa! Satoshi-kun suddenly started stroking my head. He looked delighted for some reason.
There's the demon in him.
A blush immediately spread across my face.
That looked so fake. Maybe you meant that, but it looked so fake.
Blushy crushy?
Not today.
I didn't know how to respond.
You're giving me advice, right? Thanks. I'll do my best.
Hey! Don't you try to fool me?
I'm not. I'm just happy that you care about me.
I couldn't resist his hand. I couldn't help mumbling like he does. Satoshi-kun ran back to the field, leaving me red as a beet.
He's mumbling? I don't even need to pronounce my lines properly as him. How? Also, why would you stroke someone's head? Gaming check. There's this thing called physical affection. And when the right person pets your head in the right way, you will enjoy it. There's a reason why basically everybody loves petting cats and dogs.
It's
or
like a...
other cute critters.
Well done.
Yeah. Yes. But stroke, yeah. That's a stroke.
Wait, what? That's a thing? People pet cats?
Yes.
And dogs?
Can I pet that dog? There's a reason why that's a thing. Oh, I hate it when he asks this question.
Yeah, Irie is just making it awkward now.
I'm gonna feel so disgusted after this.
Like ruining the moment.
Do you feel good when you have your head stroked?
Depends. If it were you, I'd have to teach you a new martial arts technique.
Ah, what a shame. Alright, everyone gather around. Why don't you split into groups and have a practice match?
The Hinamizawa fighters are sort of a lazy team. The members gather simply to enjoy playing baseball, not to fight for victory.
How dare people simply have fun for the sake of having fun?
The Okonomiya Titans use this field too, but they practice on a different day of the week. They always train hard using dumbbells and stuff.
When do they stop making smart belts, by the way? Just saying.
Our team split into 2 groups and started a match, retaining the loose atmosphere. She says our team.
Yeah, because now it's our team. First it's your team, but then this happened. And now it's our team.
I'll keep track of the score. Coach, do you have a pencil?
Thanks for helping out. Here.
I took the pencil and the clipboard. I didn't know how to differentiate between recording hits and errors at first, but by now I was used to it. Show me what you got, Satoshi-kun. Oh, maybe it will be too much pressure if I cheer for you too excessively. Just do okay then.
That's so sweet. It doesn't sound very encouraging either.
Just be average.
I'm trying.
Do your best. Time passed slowly that Sunday. Huge white clouds appeared in the sky. They made me feel healthy. Humans are born to be active under the sun. No, they're not.
No, Shion. Not all of us.
One of the parents was acting as umpire today, so Irie sat on the bench with me. He shouted words of encouragement to the kids while they ran to their positions. Any other baseball coach would constantly berate them, but he was much more generous, like a kindergarten teacher. He let the kids have fun while watching over them. To other baseball players, it might look a little naive. Ha! Finally!
Did you mean native?
I'm surprised you guys can do well with only a small amount of practice.
Kids in Hinamizawa romp around every day, so the amount of exercise we get surpasses that of the city kids. Besides, too much training is not always effective. You need your rest days.
Wow, you think completely different from the Okonomiya Titans. I can understand why their coach hates you.
It's not about being right. Matches exist for someone to win after all, so prioritizing victory certainly isn't wrong. I think it's admirable to aim for victory together, but the goal of our team doesn't happen to be victory, that's all.
The Hinamizawa fighters and the Okonomiya Titans had been rivals for a long time. Both teams shared the same baseball field for one thing. And originally there was only one team, but the people living in Hinamizawa left and made their own. Anyhow, we were rivals.
Also, quick question. Going back to the whole discussion about the stupid reasons and the laws behind when Oyashiro-sama's curse strikes. Are all the kids now like cursed? Because they left Hinamizawa, they're here in Okinomiya, they're training here. Is this safe?
I think the area counts.
So it really is down to zip codes.
The Okonomiya Titans were strictly about winning, and the Hinamizawa fighters were just about having fun.
I know which team I would join.
Surprisingly, our scores weren't that different. Which meant our team had something that they didn't. Even though I couldn't put it into words, I knew what made that happen. Hey, Team 1, no slacking. You can make up the 2-point difference pretty easily. Team 2, no slacking either. Still, some parents would criticize our coach for being too lenient. But still others would strongly agree with him. Which side would I take?
Agree.
The latter? I couldn't really say for sure. The reason for this was that Irie had an obnoxious habit of sexual harassment.
That has nothing to do with the approach to coaching. Like, it's the same area we're talking about, and I still think he's a piece of shit for that, but... well...
In particular, he had a fascination with mates, but I should talk about that some other time. Satoshi-kun let the ball pass twice to see its trajectory, then hit it on the third pitch and ran to first base.
Crimes are not a habit, but okay. I would slightly disagree. I agree in principle with you, Psycho, but some people do crime out of habit, or like it's a habit. So, well.
Oh, he did it! He's so good when he's relaxed.
Satoshi's amazing. I mean, it shouldn't be. That I fully agree with. In the beginning, he used to get tired very easily. He's improved quite a lot since then.
He really does look kind of like a bookworm. I wonder why he started playing baseball in the first place. All the other kids who joined the baseball team loved baseball. They'd go out to play in the fields outside of practice. That's why they all had an aptitude for it. But Sis never said that Satoshi-kun exercises intensively in school or anywhere else. He only likes to read. That's why I didn't understand why he started playing for his team to begin with.
That's because I invited him.
Is that so? You recruited him. Did you notice some sort of hidden talent?
Excuse me, can I have a cup of barley tea? Thank you.
Irie asked for tea in a suspicious manner.
Trying to get him out of the house.
While he constantly joked around, I knew he was actually a very mature person. I assumed he was trying to evade my question. Is there a particular reason? Irie pretended he didn't hear me, but I pressed him on it. In response, he shrugged and began answering the question.
I think you might be able to guess.
What would be Mian Sonozaki's guess? I quickly searched through the data I had on Satoshi-kun. I came up with Satoshi-kun's family circumstances. He lost his parents in an accident a year ago. Since then, he's been having a tough time at his uncle's home.
That's the understatement of a decade.
So you invited him so that he could vent?
Sports are great. You can free yourself for exercise. I thought that as long as he concentrated on something else, he could forget about his troubles at home.
That's actually quite nice. If you can't solve a situation, you need like an outlet.
Relief is good, even if only temporary. I agree.
You know he's usually sort of a daydreamer, zoning out all the time. Is he still stressed? I knew Satoshi-kun must be suffering, even though he didn't look like it. But Mian Sonozaki never pays attention to things like that, and I had to act like she does.
Satoshi-kun got really sick after his uncle took him into his custody. He had many clinical symptoms, but the causes were unknown.
Satoshi-kun often got sick. After he was taken into his Satoshi-kun often got sick after he was taken into his uncle's custody. He suffered from fatigue and migraines. He suffered from a lack of energy and sleeplessness. The coach, Dr. Irie, soon realized Satoshi-kun was suffering from a psychological disorder.
Also, I don't know if this is the right way of phrasing it, but is it a clinical lack or like a clinical sleeplessness if the people that are supposed to give you shelter and raise you keep you awake well into the night, giving you stupid chores and yelling at you? Because, I don't know, I would call it abuse, but...
I don't think the reason was just chores, it was also staying up because of fights and stuff like that.
Yes, that's why I added, and yelling at you.
No, fair enough. Most of the people in Hinamizawa knew how bad Satoshi's environment was. It was natural for him to become sick because he entered that bad environment right after his parents' deaths.
Satoshi-kun cannot express himself freely. Whether it's crying or simply being agitated, he's not good at handling those emotions.
That's true. I can't imagine him being angry or crying.
Did you know Satoshi-kun? Now I'm talking like her, putting the S behind the name, not the honorific. Did you know Satoshi-kun's mother had been married a few times already?
Yeah, I know a little bit about that. Satoshi-kun's mother had married a number of men over the years. That meant Satoshi-kun had several stepfathers. He had to deal with strangers coming into his home multiple times, so he was forced to be mature.
At this point he must think they're called stepfathers because it's like a staircase.
Wow.
Satoshi-kun is mentally underdeveloped. He isn't aware of it himself though. He didn't have enough time to cry, laugh or throw tantrums in his childhood. He was forced to become a grown-up in just a short time.
That doesn't sound right.
Children have to behave like children in order to grow. There's nothing positive about being forced to become an adult.
Not only was Satoko's current relationship with her aunt conspicuously terrible, I heard that her relationships with her previous stepfathers weren't good either. Satoko always caused problems, and Satoshi-kun would always step in to protect her.
I thought his physical symptoms came from the stress. His body was trying to warn him.
That's why Irie invited Satoshi-kun into the baseball team. He told Satoshi that he needed a new member. Or something like that.
He hesitated at first, but after I talked to him at the clinic a few times, he began to open up to me. First, I invited him to come to see the practice. Then I suggested he try batting. I eased him into it.
Sports worked excellently for Satoshi-kun. His health quickly improved and he started to become interested in baseball. He practiced batting and he was soon able to swing beautifully and he learned how to see the trajectory of the ball. I can imagine that. He likes to read, so he must have read a book titled How to Play Baseball or something like that.
He's become a good batter very quickly. He's put forth a lot of effort, though I wish he could actually hit when it comes down to the wire too.
Are you guys close?
I think so. He talks to me about his problems, so I guess that's a sign of trust.
I felt a bit jealous of how confidently Irie said that. While Satoshi-kun and I were friends, we weren't so close that we'd open up to each other like that.
I have a feeling you're close in a different type of way, because I just can't find a good spot to sit. I have a feeling Satoshi-kun doesn't just randomly go around petting people on the head.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, are you jealous?
Eh? About what? Taken aback, I blushed.
That's a yes.
Irie started laughing at me.
Your face might say eh, but your face says yes. Please stay as his good friend.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm trying. I didn't know what I was saying.
You know, regarding Satoshi-kun, he seems a little sick again lately.
What?
Why is it that the music just goes da 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 da, vroom, da 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 da, like it's like a roller coaster. There's ups and downs in this chapter.
Well, it would be a bit weird to have happy music there, I guess.
Whack!
The ball flew to the left. But the left fielder managed to catch it. It seemed that the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had gotten worse lately. It was obvious his sickness had something to do with that.
The aunt is bullying Satoko-chan in a terrible way. She's become worn out after all that, and...
So... Satoshi-kun is also worn out from covering for Satoko, isn't he? I wasn't interested in Satoko, so I switched the subject back to Satoshi-kun.
refreshingly selfish.
I didn't know much about Satoko. I knew that she was a big part of Satoshi-kun's life, but never been interested in her until today. She must have been building up self-esteem and taking care of her unreliable brother. That was all I knew about her. But considering Satoshi-kun's personality, even that goofiness of his might have been an act. Maybe he was trying to make her feel good about herself by letting her take care of him. If only unconsciously. When he's alone, he's surprisingly strong. I realized that only recently, so I couldn't help but think that his whole life is constantly affected by Satoko. Satoshi-kun managed to get along with his stepfathers even though he experienced some stress. He was even getting along with his aunt. But in order to protect Satoko, he always had to step in and suffer. I didn't really know anything about Satoko, but I had to admit I felt hostile towards her. I felt jealous because she was monopolizing him.
I see how she's getting there, but I can't follow the same path.
It's like, well, she's closer to him than she is.
Yeah, she's the one
Strike
causing
one.
the issues, but I don't think that's how that dynamic really works. I mean, this is Higurashi. For all we know, that's exactly how that works, and Shion is predicting or telling us what is actually happening. With the whole, we don't actually know if Satoko has ever been abused by any of her stepfathers.
Yeah, because she doesn't know. She's filling in the blanks herself, and it's like, hey, Satoshi gets along with all of these people. Why doesn't Satoko? And because Satoko doesn't, he has to suffer for it.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. It's a complex thing. It seems that the aunt has been tyrannizing Satoko-chan even more lately. That must be what's causing Satoshi's sickness.
Irie heaved a sigh. As he said, Satoshi-kun had been absent a few times lately. He seemed a bit tired too. He looked normal when around everybody else, but he looked a bit depressed when he was alone. So you invited him to join the team to relieve his stress, didn't you?
Yes, that's right.
But he looks stressed again now. How can we save him this time?
I don't know.
Irie smiled powerlessly. I couldn't help feeling a bit disappointed about that because Satoshi-kun put his trust in him.
Just between you and me, Satoshi-kun recently told me that he wanted to leave the team.
Eh? How come?
He claimed he was tired of it. That's what he said, but I believe he actually wants to spend more time with Satoko-chan. He thinks that Satoko-chan might end up being tortured while he's at practice. I think he's concerned about that.
I was left speechless for a while. Satoko again. Satoko. Why did Satoshi-kun have to sacrifice so much for her? Just by ignoring her, his stress would melt away.
That's the wrong question. The question I think you should ask is, why is Satoshi-kun sacrificing so much for her?
Yeah, but that's not emotion. She really knows. Remember, she's the selfish one.
Yeah, I get that. There has to be some point where I start disliking Chapter 5 Shion.
Of course, I knew he couldn't do that. If that were the case, then the blame lay with his little sister. I knew how badly she'd been treated. But that only happened because she made things worse for herself. It was her fault that she couldn't establish a decent relationship with her aunt. If Satoko were more mature, like Satoshi-kun, her own life wouldn't have gotten so bad. Satoshi-kun wouldn't have to suffer those indirect blows. This kid is like, what, 5 at this point? No, like 7. I believe she's like 8 when Keiichi comes.
Something like that, yeah. Also Shion with a healthy dose of victim blaming. That was a joke, there's no healthy dose of victim blaming.
In the meantime, the baseball team's practice match had become one-sided. It wasn't even worth watching anymore. The members of the losing team were just goofing off.
Just randomly leave the field.
The sky had turned cloudy too. It was depressing. Didn't look like it rained soon though. The grey sky hadn't brought along any cool air. It just felt disgusting. Irie became quiet. He was looking down around his feet. I, meanwhile, just stared at Satoshi-kun. To me, he didn't look active anymore. He was once able to enjoy playing baseball and he felt fine. But he got sick again, just because the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had deteriorated. I couldn't help but say it. Shouldn't we do something about Satoko instead? It was just a murmur, but Irie had definitely caught it.
What do you mean, Sonozaki-san?
It's not that complicated. If Satoko were stronger, Satoshi-kun wouldn't have to deal with the stress. I think Satoko is the cause of everything.
I don't know about that.
Yes, you do. If she didn't cause any trouble, he wouldn't have to step in, wouldn't he? He wouldn't have to take over in the fight between Satoko and her aunt, right? Satoshi-kun never got scared of any trouble. No matter how formidable the enemy, he'd bravely stand up to protect the weak. I knew that because I could vividly imagine it.
That's a sauce my ass line. I knew because I could imagine it. I get it though.
I knew because I experienced it would have worked better because she did.
Sauce? Without the question mark, sorry. Yeah. Sauce? Jack! That's me. I'm the best sauce. Outside of all the issues that there are with Shion's line of thinking, on a technical level, she isn't wrong. Outside of the whole, the aunt and the uncle are abusive pieces of shit. If there wasn't an issue, there wouldn't be an issue, you know? But I don't think it's a matter of just telling Satoko, like, have you ever tried to stop being a bitch? And more of a maybe get her out of that situation? But that would also include Satoshi, because I don't think he's just gonna let her be by herself, because that's not the kind of relationship they have. That would destroy him in a way, I think.
Well, that's not possible, no? And Shion isn't an adult. Yeah. You're talking about 2 kids here.
Yeah, I feel that.
Whenever their aunt chides Satoko, Satoshi-kun steps in to protect her. The aunt probably didn't like it. Though Satoshi-kun didn't have to fight, the aunt would attack him anyway. The fight would then be between the aunt and him. Satoko might then tease the aunt by sticking out her tongue, hiding behind his back and pretending to be scared. She'd never think about how deeply he was being hurt. See, she's filling in blanks. She might do it, but we do not know.
She's filling them in selfishly.
Because of Satoko, Satoshi-kun had become cornered and stressed.
I'm surprised to hear this from you, Sonozaki-san. I thought you were Satoko-chan's friend, her classmate, a big sister kind of figure. I thought you'd always be on her side. But what you've said is surprising to me.
Irie looked at me suspiciously. I could tell that he was thinking about me. I'd said too much. Mion Sonozaki and Satoko Hojo are friends. They're close, so Mion should have been encouraging her after the situation at home got tougher. That's what Mion was supposed to do. I had totally forgotten about that and spoken as myself. It's only natural that Irie would give me a suspicious look. He might end up changing his impression of Mion Sonozaki entirely. I'd have to apologize to her about this and ask her to put things right. I totally messed up. Even so, I didn't think I'd said anything wrong. I'd objectively looked at the situation and made a modest proposal. To be honest, I was simply afraid that he might leave the team. I couldn't go to the school in Hinamizawa, so the baseball field was the only place where I could see him. I could even say that he was my reason for living.
That's going real fast.
That's right, I was in love with him. But I wasn't going to tell him how I felt. For I was satisfied with just being by his side. I certainly couldn't ask for anything more. After all, I couldn't reveal my true identity. I had to pretend to be Mion in order to live in Okonomiya. I thought that maybe I should leave Okonomiya in order to be free. But that's stupid. No matter how tough my life might be, I'd prefer to be here, with Satoshi-kun stroking my head every now and then. Why did I love him that much? I read about it in some manga once. You don't need a reason to be in love. I was surprised at myself for being like this. Calm down, Shion. I breathed out slowly, then held my breath, trying to slow my throbbing heart.
Did she actually say that out loud within earshot of Irie?
I don't think we're near Irie anymore.
It's impossible to tell. She could just be looking straight up, like, like...
Calm down.
I am. What?
I wasn't talking to you.
That's how Tifa talks to herself. In your faces.
Sure, these are inner thoughts. Yeah, it would make more sense too. I felt a bit calmer. At that point, a clear thought came into my head. I want to be with Satoshi-kun. So, I want him to stay on the team. So, I want to get rid of his concerns and his stress. So what? So, what can I do to achieve all that?
What was that line?
I wonder if Shion is the one that will kill the aunt.
What's that line? The path to hell is plastered with niceties or something like that? Or with well-meaning actions? Something like that.
It doesn't ring a bell.
It's Friday afternoon. I don't have much philosophy in me. Good intentions. Yes, that's it. The path to hell, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I get it. You have feelings for somebody and you don't want them to be in a shitty situation, so you want to remove a situation. Yeah. It's not wrong.
Write it down though. I think Shion is the one that kills the aunt.
I don't even have OneNote open yet. That's how unprepared I am for this. And today is 24th January. Shion kills Satoshi's aunt.
It's gonna be one of those things trying to fix it by just making her disappear.
Yeah, because I'm guessing she's gonna realize I can't make Satoko disappear because that's gonna hurt Satoshi. So I'm gonna remove
the aunt.
Part of the issue, specifically the part that's going to hurt him the least, and that's the aunt.
Satoshi, I'm not sure why he would disappear, but maybe because he sees it.
Because he learns that Shion did this.
And then tries to take the fall by disappearing and making him seem as the...
Yeah, plus he won't want to be around Shion.
Yeah, that so far makes a lot of sense.
I think we've had this conversation during one of the earlier chapters before too. It's like, so you went out of your way to kill somebody. With chapter 3. So Keiichi goes and kills your abusive piece of shit uncle for you. When Satoko learns this, she isn't gonna go, oh my god, that's so sweet, thank you. No, she's gonna look at you like you're some monster. Your intentions may be very well meant, but the actions you've done are unforgivable. That changes things.
It's gonna be Vincent, you never know.
You never know with Higurashi. For all we know, it's Vincent.
It really could be. How you doing,
Welcome
Skinner?
in Skinner, happy Friday. Did Shion mention what happened with Satoshi in the previous chapters? No. I don't think she ever did. The only thing we know is that Irie brought up that there was a relationship, some sort of relationship between Shion and Satoshi. And Shion got incredibly intense when Keiichi was like, yeah, he just left. And Shion was like, do you have proof of that? Where is he? Where was he seen? Where's your source?
Yeah. It could be that she knew where he went, but it wasn't mentioned yet, at least.
I'm gonna write down what I just said as my prediction.
Wow, that's Psycho's prediction?
I don't see one. If you want me to write one down for you, Psycho, anybody, I'm willing to do that. Just let me know.
But you didn't say anything else. What did you say?
Satoshi runs away after learning that Shion killed the aunt. Taking the fall, And
That
also,
is not yours. That was part of the plot that we just said. Move it to the right then.
I mean, the words came out of my mouth, but let's let Tifa have this one.
That is exactly part of... No, not that, not there. To the right.
So the one we agree on.
Yeah.
Use your words, Tifa.
That was discussed after thingy already.
Just because we discuss something doesn't mean you agree. How am I supposed to know if you don't tell me?
Because we both said it.
I don't think you did, but
We absolutely did.
I'm happy to put it in the list of things Tifa and I agree on because I'm just a nice guy.
You're rigging the...
What am I rigging
You're rigging
now?
the list.
Why do you...
The list is rigged.
How am I rigging predictions?
So I am asking if you remember question.
Thank you for clarifying for Tifa.
My heart started to cool down as I heard the Empire shout.
Game set!
Wow, it says referee. Oh, sorry. I miscalculated your briefing. But it doesn't even say umpire.
An umpire is a referee.
Yeah, but why don't we use the same wording?
Because the person who translated Higurashi swallowed a thesaurus. That's why they're so loquacious. May I umpire the game now?
Yeah, you mean.
Game, set, and match! You're welcome, everybody. See, the last line, and Tifa had to take that away from me. Just one smooth delivery. Now that we have a cool scene.
Some days I see him, some days I don't. A clear sky gets cloudy, and rain will always stop eventually. I thought his absence was just like that, but he was actually on the verge of a breakdown. Notebook, page 19.
To be fair, an umpire is different to a ref, but only slightly. Skinner, couldn't you just let me have this one? I try so hard to not spread lies on the internet. Couldn't I have this one piece of misinformation? No, thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, but they obviously call him an umpire.
No, not umpire.
Umpire. So it should at least say that.
Yeah.
But whenever he talks, it's always referee.
Do you think umpires are just vampires who struggle with speaking freely?
Yeah, could be.
Because we go, a lot.
Nice try, but it doesn't really work.
I'm pretty sure I've made exactly the same attempt at a joke the last time an umpire has been mentioned.
I do not remember.
I vaguely recall. And I had similar reactions from everybody.
It was bad enough to be pushed from my memory.
Yeah, but I only realized that I've done and failed with this before as the words left my mouth. And at that point I had to commit. No. Shaking my head, as long as you don't shake your umpire. Tifa, how about we take a short break now that we had a cool scene transition?
BRB.
Brr, brr.
We're back.
Yes, we are. What the fuck are you doing?
Cold. Goosebumps.
Tifa is acting like it's freezing in here. Is it warm? Not as much as some days, because I mean I'm sitting here in a long sleeve shirt and I'm okay.
It's snuggy weather.
It's snuggy weather.
And I have no snuggy.
Your snuggie is sitting next to you. I am the most snuggleable person in the world.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. Also, thank you, Skinner, for going deeper into the umpire-referee kind of thing. They basically do the same thing, but refs typically go by the book 100%. Umpires have a bit more flexibility. How is that legal?
So how do you decide what you use? So the moment you're a referee... I'm just ignoring you. The moment you decide to have a referee and he strays a little bit off the book, he's automatically an umpire?
How is an umpire considered legal in any sport if they can just go, nah, that's slide? Like, I don't know. That feels unfair. Or is it just me?
Unfair. Yeah. So, where I worked a little bit unfair. Yeah, slightly.
I'm groaning because I would have liked to do that one. That one was way better than my umpire vampire thing from earlier. I think it's more to do with disputes. Tennis is both an umpire and a ref. That just seems like they're just giving random jobs to people. Like, why have both?
Yeah, it seems weird. Like one slightly forgot the rules and then just goes along with it.
That seems even more stupid. In tennis and in baseball, you have the lines drawn on the field, do you not? And like with hitting, you have a very specific area where the ball needs to go during a pitch, otherwise it's a foul. And to then just go, we have all these definitions and we literally painted the ground to, we put the stuff on the ground so that you can see where the lines are, but nah, it's cool, it's chill. Whatever.
I don't think that's the part where you can be flexible.
Then why have umpires?
It just says flexible, not exactly with which rules.
So you think it's about joint flexibility? All umpires need to be able to touch their toes, but referees don't.
I don't think it has to do with like it goes out of line and then they go like, oh no, I'll count it.
I'm a referee, Tifa is umpire material. That's the reason why specifically in tennis we have a video system. Yeah, that makes even less sense. So you have video cameras, you have all of these like digital things to make sure it's in the line, and then the umpire goes, nah, it's cool, just chill. Nah, I don't get it. I don't get it. It can bounce on the line and be a little over and still be in. Guess tennis just sucks. Meanwhile,
the rainy season was just around the corner, and the air had become so humid that my skirt.
Want to run that again?
The rainy season was just around the corner, and the air had become so humid that my shirt... I said human, didn't I?
No, you didn't. You had it until you fucked it all up.
The air is so humid.
Take 3.
It's crying.
Take 4.
The rainy season was just around the corner, and the air had become so humid that my shirt stuck to my skin. It had been a few weeks since Satoshi-kun stopped showing up for baseball practice. I looked for him as soon as I arrived at the field. He's not here yet. Did I get here too early? I want to see him playing in the field right when I get here. I'd started arriving late because of those feelings. However, he wasn't here today either. I didn't even bother hiding my disappointment anymore. Everybody knew by now how I felt. The team members from Mion's class came over to try and console me. I shoot them away.
Meh. Still worked. Now let it slide, because I'm an umpire when it comes to reading.
Oh, my chair.
That was her this time.
That was my chair. Let me sit like this.
Both have to start a diet, don't we?
Okay, my chair is now good. See?
I can do it on command.
My chair is fine now.
I knew it. I wasn't going to read my line just yet. You done disrupting now?
Yeah.
Or you want to, I don't know, open a bag of chips and loudly eat that?
Hair tickled my nose.
What's going on, Sonozaki-san? Are you feeling sick?
Even Irie couldn't comfort me. I was aware that he too knew why I was like this. I'm going home. I don't feel like watching the practice today.
Look, we're having a meeting with Okonomiya Titans later. I want you to be there because you're our manager.
Don't treat me like a manager. I never agreed to be one. Sorry.
You're cold, you're hiccupy, you're itchy. This is the least professional voice line reading session I have ever seen. And frankly, your attitude disgusts me.
Yeah, because now you get to see the whole behind-the-scenes bits too.
Tifa is channeling too much of her inner, rebellious 15-year-old Shion energy.
Yeah, normally you only get the recorded lines. Now you get the whole package.
I don't think either one of us would ever be able to be paid voice actors because we would hold up the process.
I think so, yeah. Irie looked down, not knowing what to say.
Alright. Please help us again when you feel like it.
Maybe I won't be coming back. If you really need a manager, look for somebody else.
Please do come again, whenever you feel like it. Satoshi-kun will be sad if you're not here when he comes back.
I ignored him and turned around. I had already set up my schedule with Mion, so I didn't have to ask her every time anymore. I tried to contact her a couple of times to ask how Satoshi-kun was doing in school, but I hadn't been able to get through to her. Apparently the hack had sensed that I might be in contact with Sis. In other words, Sis was being watched. As a result, it hadn't been easy to contact her. Kasai, who had been helping me contact her, seemed to also have been marked. People knew he was loyal to me. I hadn't seen him for a while either.
Oof.
All I could do was wonder how Satoshi-kun was doing. I was frustrated because there was no way for me to know. My head was filled with worries. But something surprised me out of the blue. Somebody called out to me when I was about to leave for the field on my bike.
Oh, okay. Didn't expect her to bump into us, but...
Me neither.
Me neither. Get it? Me on. I tried.
Mi-chan, hello. I'd never seen this girl before. Luckily, she called me Mi-chan. There's only one person who refers to me on that way as far as I know. Reina. I'm surprised to see you here. Her name is Reina Ryugu. Her real name is Reina, but she wants to be called Reina. So that's what we call her. She moved here in April. I had some information on her, but it was all ambiguous. I had some information on her, but it was all ambiguous.
You're being a bit of an ambitious. La 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 la. Lo 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 lo.
Sis was still a bit uncertain about her since she's so new. It was hard for me to handle someone like that. I didn't know how to act around her as Mion, so I decided to pretend to be in an obvious sulky mood. That way she wouldn't talk to me as much, assuming that Mion was simply feeling bad. Well, that's how I really am anyway. Are you going home, Mi-chan? Yeah. I guess I'm not feeling well. Sorry.
I guess I'm not feeling well, question mark?
Let's go together then.
Ooh.
I wanted to say that I'd rather be alone, but there's only one road to Hinamizawa. So asking to be alone would look odd. The only way to not seem suspicious would be to walk home with her. Yeah. Let's go. Reina quietly nodded and I unlocked my bike. Mi-chan, do you have an umbrella? Nope. It might rain soon, so let's hurry a bit since you don't have one.
Reina looks so cute in that outfit.
And just as she predicted, we were attacked by pouring rain on our way. We ended up taking shelter in a small shack in front of a bus stop. It's pouring, but it doesn't look like it's going to last long since the sky over there is clear. Yeah. I heard the sound of rain pattering on the rooftop and the raindrops jumping into puddles. Now
you felt the rain too.
It sounded loud, but it made me feel strangely calm.
Like listening to my colleagues type away happily on mechanical keyboards in their cubicles in an office building at work.
I was actually gonna say like listening to a mechanical keyboard.
One brain cell between the two of us.
I zoned out for a moment. Then Reina talked to me while looking up at the rainy sky. I was worried about you, because you looked so down. All the baseball team members knew I was depressed because I hadn't seen Satoshi-kun recently. Most of them attend the school in Hinamizawa, so it wasn't surprising that she knew as well. I hadn't been able to contact Sis these past few weeks, but I was sure she had an idea of how I feel about Satoshi-kun and how I would feel if he didn't come to his baseball practice. Sis was probably pretending to act a little depressed during her day today in Hinamizawa to avoid creating a big gap in our moods.
That's actually really sweet and amazing acting on both of their behalves.
But neither of us knew the details about the other right now. So she wouldn't be able to answer if others asked her what was wrong. She'd only be able to say, "Leave me alone." That might lead more people to become worried. Reina must have thought Mian was depressed. That must be why she came all the way to see me. She must have known what was going on because she knew that I was at the baseball field.
You know, when Reina isn't walking around with a giant hatchet trying to murderize people, she actually seems like a great friend.
Yeah. She has your back. Do you feel lonely because Satoshi-kun is avoiding us? Having deduced what's been going on with Satoshi-kun from what she just said. He'd been distancing himself from others lately because of exhaustion. That's what it sounded like, at least. He looked like he was very worried about Satoko-chan.
A little bit crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I draw the enough crazy for me line way before the walking around town with a giant hatchet swinging at me when I come into view. Of course, I cannot speak to everybody's personal taste, but I can tell you that I've been doing very well with my assessment so far. And I recommend caution to everybody.
Seems like a good line.
Yeah. Kind of waiting for Skinner to now swoop in and go like, "No, the crazier the better. If you can't handle me in my hatchet days, you don't deserve me at my best."
Skinner's not a hatchet person. I think he's really on edge. I feel bad for him. He really cares about his sister.
I want to be his sister.
He has a lot of courage. What I said sounded hollow.
What do you mean? The hatchet days are the good ones. Nope, keep them crazies away from me. I've seen enough in my time.
See?
Thank you, Skinner. Thank you for agreeing.
I don't think anyone is waiting for the hatchet ones.
Do you have a hatchet?
No.
That took too long. No, your eyes were even moving like you were visualizing spaces.
I was actually wondering if we have one in the basement.
No, we don't.
That's why I said no, because I'm quite sure we don't.
After katana money, we didn't have enough for a hatchet. Sorry, I interrupted you, Landro.
What I had said sounded hollow, as I knew too well how much of a burden Satoko had become. But I think he'd feel even worse if you also looked that depressed, I think. I don't want that. I know. But if you really don't, then you need to smile for him. Otherwise he might really feel
Honored.
But if you really don't, then you need to smile for him. Otherwise he might really feel cornered. Thought was gonna be concerned.
Oh, that's like the worst, isn't it? It's like you do something and then in order to be able to just live your life to the best of your ability, you withdraw, but then you see other people being sad because you withdraw, and then not only do you have the reasons why you withdrew to begin with on your plate, now you might also concern yourself with having made your friends sad. That sucks. Speak for yourself.
If we see a hatchet one, we'll send them in your direction.
Yes, Psycho. If I ever see a lady walking out of a hatchet, I'll be like, "Do you know honest_psycho?"
Oh, the depression down spiral. I thought that was still about the hatchet bit.
I think there were, because there was time in between. Plus, you never know with chat delay. Twitch is a thing after all. But yeah, the depression down spiral, like, you're already shitty, you're trying the best, other people get affected by it, and then it can feel worse.
It's hard to escape.
It's hard to see the way out of that. Because, just because you're doing something that makes other people sad doesn't mean it has to be this way forever, of course.
Yeah.
No, but before that, yeah. This is so tone deaf, right? No, it's fine. It's not your fault at all.
That was us.
It wasn't us either. The problem is having a conversation in a medium where there is inbuilt delay. Like, it happens. See, I'm not feeling bad about it, neither should you. Going upwards the depression down spiral. It's gonna be a happiness up spiral. I don't know, I tried.
I know you're strong. You can smile, even if it's just pretend. So I want you to smile no matter what. You know what lies can... You know that lies can become true sometimes?
Fake it till you make it.
What she was saying in a nutshell was this.
That's what I just said, yeah.
Both Satoshi-kun and Satoko were totally wiped out. If Mion was also depressed, even though she's the sort of person who usually lightens the mood, their situation would be stuck in a vicious cycle. Reina sounded more like she was trying to give me advice than trying to console me. She must be more mature than she looks. Sis told me that she was a funny girl with a few bad habits.
Like?
Repeating her words.
Is that a bad habit? It's a bit quirky, but I've met people before, and I've met people with what I would consider bad habits. Like, occasionally repeating part of a sentence you just said isn't really that bad to me. That's
the one thing I can think of.
Nipa?
But she seemed to have another very mature side to her. Do you love Satoshi-kun? Yeah. Though I shouldn't have told her that. I immediately responded. In that case, why don't you smile? Reina smiled herself. I believe Satoshi-kun will feel better if he sees your smile. I know you feel powerless now, but your smile will give him strength.
It's not like she's wrong.
I know what you're saying, but it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Reina giggled and nodded. He'll come back after he's done with his part-time job. His part-time job? I almost asked that question, but I managed to stop myself.
True. We did mention that during the recap. We also quickly read through a tip we unlocked with a previous episode. That was about, again, the aunt fighting with Satoko and eventually Satoshi giving him a bunch of chores to do, right now, of course, at night. And he also spoke, the word in his diary, about needing an apron because Mion had helped him get a part-time job at a store where he would need an apron. So potentially that's just where he is.
From the tone of Reina's voice, it sounded like it was something everyone knew. His part-time job, huh? I wonder when it will end. Until he has enough money, I guess. But he'll finish by Satoko-chan's birthday at the latest. I tried to figure out what was going on from what she said. I had to listen very carefully to uncover the whole picture. Satoshi-kun seemed to be working in order to make some money. I don't think it's easy to find a job when you're still in school. Sis might have had something to do with it. His job only seemed temporary, and it seemed to have something to do with Satoko's birthday. It wasn't that difficult to figure out.
Stupid Satoko, it's always her fault.
Satoshi was working and saving up to buy his little sister something expensive for her birthday. He was trying to comfort her, even though he was so torn up himself. Satoko again.
I meant that as an off-color joke. I didn't expect it to actually go that way. I'm sorry.
Satoshi-kun was already worn out because of her, and he was now working for her sake, even though he was exhausted. How stupid. It would be easier for him to just forget about Satoko.
Whoa. What's with her Reina Higurashi face jump scare now? No, we were having a moment here. You can't do that to me.
Reina knows our intrusive thoughts.
That is so...
I feel like this is somehow worse than the creepy eyes.
I feel like she can smell inside my nose. That's how close she is.
Your mistake, you relaxed, yeah?
Yeah. Sorry, note to self, only play Higurashi fully clenched.
I was startled when I realized Reina was looking straight into my eyes.
She isn't staring into your eyes, she is
like
rubbing eyeballs with you.
It seemed to be even from like down.
Yeah, but also above you somehow.
She was smiling, but her eyes looked creepy. I never voiced what I was thinking, but she was looking at me as though she figured out that I was blaming Satoko. She beamed when she noticed my fear. She smiled as though she understood that I thought that way because of love. She was giving me the creeps. I could hear thunder roar in the distance. The rain began to pick up. Do you feel jealous of Satoko-chan because she monopolizes Satoshi-kun?
That's her exact words.
Basically, yeah. That's a bad habit.
How is she doing this?
Stop reading me.
How is she doing this? Is Reina just naturally talented at being so empathetic that she can just pick up on things like this to that extent? Or is there a more nefarious reason why?
Good at reading body language.
No, getting it right down to the exact words being used, that's not reading body language.
That's just to creep you out. I avoided answering immediately this time. But Reina seemed to know what I was thinking already. I wouldn't be upset even if you did. That's just how it is when you're in love. Thanks. You've been encouraging Satoko-chan despite that. That's admirable. Of course I have. She's my friend. I sounded so fake.
You really did that.
I felt like spitting on the floor.
Nobody asked, but a wild tangent so that I can try to talk my way away from the Reina jump scare. I cannot spit.
What?
I cannot spit. You know how sometimes you see people, usually when you don't want them to, you see people on the street like, and then this perfectly formed whatever comes out of their mouth and just gets flung to the ground, and then they live their life and they walk on. I cannot spit like that.
You just go.
I cannot do that. If I do the, it's gonna be like a shotgun blast. Yeah, it's first of all, it's gonna go in every direction, and at least 80% will fall from my mouth somehow like a boomerang, come back and get flung into my facial hair.
You're not supposed to spit from your entire mouth. Also, and those people, they get like stuff out of their throat up, like the slime, and spit that out.
So it's like more sticky.
That's what the...
Can you never make that sound again, please?
Like you're pulling things up.
Can you never make that sound again, please?
What Tiva just told you to do is different to what those nasty people are doing. Yeah. I prefer, if you already have to spit, I can't do that either. It's just...
The way you do it, it sounds cute though.
You're not that...
Yeah. Jack not have an alpaca in his bloodline. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Tomorrow when we go outside, you have to spit.
No. Also, thankfully, I never really feel the need to spit.
Same.
On the ground. Like, when I'm sick, like, it happens so rarely, but it has happened before when I was out and about, when I had something in my throat. But even then, because I cannot do the pew, I have whatever I have in my mouth, and then I walk over to a quiet corner, like near a tree or something, and I go, and then I remove my head again after I make sure that everything felt, like, I make sure that my mouth is facing directly downwards so that there is no, because that's what would happen if I just go.
Spitting is what I would consider a bad habit. Unless you have, like, you swallowed a fly or you got something in your mouth But like just like the spit. Nasty.
I've never seen a person do the t where it didn't like. It had nothing to do with me, but it still felt disrespectful towards me. Does that make sense? I don't know.
And it's called phlegm. Like that's what they're
Oh
spitting
yeah,
out. Yeah, it's the nasty blobs.
the mucus. Because normal spitting is straightforward. Those people are usually spitting out phlegm. If they have like a post-nasal drip, it'll be easier for them to drag their mucus down and spit out.
Yeah, and I feel like these people
I had
usually
that once.
put like their entire bodies in it.
It doesn't seem like it to
Like
me. It
the-
seems like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, like some of the nasty ones, you see like pull it up and then they go like.
When you can hear the stuff being pulled from underneath their toenails. Go, yeah, no. I once had, I guess post-nasal drip is the right word. I started getting a throat ache in one specific spot for like a week, and it didn't get better, it didn't get worse. So I went to HNO, as we call them. Hals, Nasen, Ohrenarzt, what's it in English? A nose, throat,
Ear doctor. I don't
I-
think
I
that's
don't-
an actual term in English.
I don't know why they group that together over here. It's just is that way. So they checked me out, and apparently I had like a super mellow sinusitis. I didn't even feel that part, but I had so much buildup like up here that it just naturally formed like a tiny river going down the very back of my throat, therefore infecting that part. And it just gave me some pills and a nose spray that I used for like 2 or 3 days, and then it cleared up, thankfully. But imagining having that like permanently, chronically, I didn't like it having it for 2 weeks. I don't want to do that like longer. I'm different to when you're ill with a chesty cough and cup of last year. I hate that.
Feels different.
It's not a feeling I enjoy at all. Even, sometimes you feel like this like sense of happiness, of relief when it comes out.
No, I hate.
When I cough up things, no, I feel like I'm suffocating. I hate it.
I love the slimy mushrooms, funnily enough, like the feel. But when you like cough up the slimy phlegm stuff, it feels disgusting.
Slimy mushroom in Chinese food? Yay! Slimy mushroom out of my chest? No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel grounded again after Verena Jomska. We can continue now. Thank
Very
you.
good. You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody.
All I can do is encourage Satoko-chan and Satoshi-kun. I don't know how to save them from their situation.
Easy, kill the on.
Satoko is relying on Satoshi-kun way too much. If she were stronger, he wouldn't have to suffer in her place. Oh, she said it out loud again. You sound really straightforward. Reina nodded with an unflinching smile, even though my remarks could be taken as harsh.
I know that Shion is like 15, but I guess it really makes a huge difference as well that Shion doesn't actually know Satoko.
That, and like she already said, she's a bit more selfish.
Not just, this is not a bit more selfish. Oh, why can't this 7-year-old girl just stand up for herself in an abusive household?
Yeah.
That's very selfish. But also, again, she doesn't know her. Remember, like, chapter 4 had a whole huge tip about this. The house burns across the river versus your neighbors.
Yeah.
It hits different when it's people you know.
If you don't know them, you don't care.
Yeah.
What was this mysterious girl thinking? It was difficult to get a read on her. Maybe Satoshi-kun feels that way a little too.
And probably feels really shitty when he has those thoughts.
Eh? Reina kept smiling, but her smile looked strangely cold. I think he's tired of protecting Satoko-chan, and he's aware of that.
And that's a completely valid and normal thought to have in this situation, I want to say.
Yeah.
Thinking it and doing that are two entirely different things.
Keep in mind, children view themselves and other kids as rational. Yeah, they're adults.
Yeah.
They are mature enough, adult enough. I think we all had that as a teenager. Or younger.
I never believed, like, when people older than me told me when I was like 15, 16, 17, 18, I was like, you're a kid and you don't know shit. I didn't really finish puberty until I was like 23. I was a very, very late bloomer. Also very sheltered and weird experience growing up in a way. But I didn't fully form as a person until well into my 20s for many reasons. And now, being 35, I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't know shit. Like, I feel more like I know very little now compared to when I was 16, 17. Because I think I saw like a meme about this not too long ago. As a teenager, I was like, nobody tell me what to do. I want to do this myself. I want to just do things. And now it's like, can somebody please tell me what to do in exact steps?
I think you have just described 90% of all people on this planet.
Yeah.
That's the whole part of puberty.
It's a really weird kind of realization when that thought just really go, now it makes sense. Yeah.
That's why then you will tell a teenager like, hey, it will make sense when you're older. 10 points if you get it. And then the teenager will go through the exact same cycle.
So, fuck you, it needs to be named and shamed. Fuck Frozen 2. It will all make sense when you're older. No, it doesn't.
Just only fuck that part in Frozen 2.
Frozen 2 is Olaf character assassination.
Olaf kind of ruined the movie.
See, there's another game you played where people treat one person as evil incarnate and not as a stupid kid. But, well, spoilers. Yes. Yes. The younger, the more judgmental kids are. Yeah, in a way. That definitely fit me. Yeah, definitely.
Given the type of person Reina is, I don't think she'd say something if she wasn't certain of it. Because of that, she must have been confident in what she just told me.
In this very moment, is Reina being possessed by oyashiro-sama?
Don't think so.
Question mark. It feels like it.
Reina had a lot of moments of what I'm gonna call clarity.
Clairvoyance.
Where she was very direct, read a situation.
Yeah, it's like she's reading the lines of the novel.
Yeah.
Which feels so weird.
But she also just had that in character where she turned very serious.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a difference. It feels like there's still a difference between Reina showing her serious side and being thoughtful and like way more thoughtful than she might let on at points, because she mostly gives the happy-go-lucky attitude to me, which I appreciate. But there's depth to it when it's necessary. But then she kicks into extra gear and goes, you specifically thought of she's monopolizing him earlier, didn't you? And you go, okay, yeah, you're using my exact thoughts against me, yes.
Yeah, but we're still in Hinamizawa and they're still all weird.
Fair enough.
Why do you think that? He said so. What? Satoshi-kun secretly confessed to her? Reina asked me to keep it that way. Satoshi-kun told me that he felt tired of protecting Satoko-chan.
Oh.
He was feeling guilty, though.
Completely understand. Both feelings completely understandable.
I don't think he would say something like that.
Yes,
at some point, you just get so worn down. You can't really help intrusive thoughts.
It's not even to me. It's not even an intrusive thought. It's like, yeah, I'm tired of having to protect her. That doesn't mean I'm tired of. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop protecting her.
Yeah.
But I wish it wasn't so. You know, I wish the situation didn't have to be like this. Those are two different things in my book.
But however, it wasn't likely that Reina was lying. I just met her, so I didn't know what made me feel that way. But my hunch told me she was telling the truth. I heaved a huge sigh. Satoshi-kun must have gotten so tired that he couldn't help telling someone. Even so, even if he thought that way, he wouldn't tell somebody so easily. Maybe Reina led him to do so. She might be capable of something like that. I don't understand this girl. It had only been a little while since we'd met, but I'd already started talking about something I was keeping deep inside of me. Does she have some kind of supernatural power to reach into people's minds and drag out what they're thinking? It suddenly hit me that I was sitting with this creepy girl in a tiny shack. I'd been dragged into her strange world. I don't think Sis has realized Reina's real personality. She thinks Reina's just a funny girl with some strange habits. She would have told me if she knew.
Outside of a whole creepy possession, mind-ready thing, I feel like when you meet a person and you start talking to them and it feels like you've known them your entire life and it's mutual, you just immediately click and you're having good conversations, having a good time, and you suddenly feel like you can just open up and there's no need to guard yourself. You can just be yourself, you can say whatever's on your mind, you know you're not being judged immediately. The other person is listening and understanding to what you're saying. That's amazing. You're amazing, Tifa. Because you're that person for me.
So are you. So precious.
Am I? Jack, jump scare!
I guess Satoshi-kun must trust you a lot if he confessed that to you. I'm a little jealous. It's not because he trusts me. I think it's because I've experienced the same thing.
Oh shit, here we go. Alright. I would say get your popcorn, but this isn't that kind of moment.
I'm not sure if we're gonna get story time.
I hope so. Strap in. I'm...
You what? Did you also have to cover for your siblings once? Those footsteps always followed me. Oh, okay, so...
No.
Reina is assumingly hearing the same footsteps as Keiichi and Satoshi. They even came to my bedside and looked down at me. Huh? Sorry, Reina? What are you talking about? I turned around to face her and got the chills. There she is.
Yeah.
Though she was smiling, her eyes looked ice cold. I like the sort of transition they did there.
Yeah.
Where they didn't change anything, they just only changed the eyes. I trembled and froze with my eyes open. Have you experienced anything like that? I guess not. Probably. Reina kept laughing self-derisively. I tried to figure out what she was saying. Have you ever thought of leaving Hinamizawa and moving to a big city? Have you ever thought of doing something like that? I didn't know how to respond. Reina waited for my answer, urging me to speak with her silence. No. I love it here. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? I knew that. Didn't seem like a good idea to lie to her. Reina has some kind of power I can't grasp.
Is it PTSD? Not the power that she cannot grasp, but clearly something has happened to Reina. And she has done something. I really think she killed a kid when she had her breakdown in school.
I somehow doubted they wouldn't just send her to another school like that.
Yes, they would.
And we would have already, I think, got a hint of that.
We know that she took a baseball bat and she smashed windows and she attacked other kids,
yes.
Boys at school, specifically boys, if I recall correctly, was explained in chapter 1. Hence why I went with a thought that maybe she was sexually abused by at least one of them. But Keiichi didn't start hearing the extra footstep until he killed Teppei.
No, there was always already a presence before, even in chapter 2. Remember when he was once he entered home and he heard people and he started turning around and there was no one there? Like he already started hearing...
Okay,
people approach before the killing Tepe.
That could have been was that the same thing?
I'm quite sure it was the same thing.
Because for me, I don't know, somehow in my mind I saved it as in chapter 2 it was paranoia. As in him going, I can feel a presence, I'm approaching the door, there has to be somebody, but there was nobody there. And in chapter 3 him being like, the extra pair of footsteps. Or the extra footstep, specifically. Like for me those felt like two different things. One like a haunting kind of thing and the other as being paranoid about being followed.
Get you, but for me those are the same thing.
Alright, well, assuming that the extra footstep is a symptom of murdering somebody, then this Reina has killed somebody. We're gonna find out, I hope, at some point.
She can read people's minds just by seeing the slightest... she can read people's minds just by seeing the slightest change in their expressions. So I had to tell her the truth. You'll be okay if that's true. Oyashiro-sama won't get mad at you. Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama, that's Hinamizawa's guardian deity. I couldn't understand why she mentioned that name. My mind stopped for a moment. That's right, Oyashiro-sama. She calmly repeated the name as if trying to teach me something. Yeah, I remember. Oyashiro-sama never allows heathens to desecrate Hinamizawa. Oyashiro-sama never allows the villagers to leave either. So those are the rules. Slowly, I recalled the fear of the curse which supposedly caused the dismemberment, murder and the death of the Hojo couple. When I was sent to the institution, I had this fear. I was scared that if I went to that faraway boarding school, I'd fall under the curse. Also recall how Reina now said, do you want to live somewhere else? Not just leave the city, but actually live in a city.
Oh, that's where the line is drawn.
We had that discussion the last time. Like, is it, do I go for a spa day in the city and suddenly I'm cursed, or?
Okay. Alright. It's not just I'm going on a vacation, I'm traveling somewhere, it's I'm living somewhere else.
She specifically asked, did you think about moving to a bigger city and living there? So I think it's just the intention of leaving the village behind permanently. That is where the line is.
Oyashiro-sama, that's messed up. You know, if you love somebody, you've got to be willing to let them go.
But I should be okay. I escaped from the school and returned to my hometown, to Okonomiya to be precise. But it should be okay according to the kids' rules because I love Hinamizawa.
The kids said it's okay.
The hack forces me to live this suffocating life, but I still choose to stay in this place. I don't believe I'm breaking Oyashiro-sama's rules. Even though the Sonozaki family had selfishly banished me to a remote place, I came back here anyway. Oyashiro-sama should even bless me for that. I guess I'm trying to convince myself that the curse doesn't apply to me. But I think I'm still afraid of it.
Who wouldn't be at this point?
I love this place, so I don't think I qualify for Oyashiro-sama's curse. You could even call me a model villager.
That sounds so much like German bureaucracy. No, I love German bureaucracy. I think I qualify for this.
Yes, I think so too. But I'm not sure about Satoshi-kun. Why?
He has the intent to leave.
Satoshi-kun wants to leave Hinamizawa and run far away, even if only unconsciously. I gave an inaudible cry. While I was feeling sad that Satoshi-kun hadn't shown up for practice, he still lived in Hinamizawa. So I'd never even considered the thought of him going away. Are you saying that he wants to skip town? Yes. He's not aware of it himself though. He probably didn't notice it until Oyashiro-sama stood by his bed.
Also, what the fuck? Thought crimes. And not only thought crimes, unconscious wish crimes. If it turns out that there is an oyashiro-sama and that is genuinely how it works, that is the most messed up shit.
A little bit, but I do like that the idea is now out there. That the footsteps and the presence they keep hearing is actually oyashiro-sama.
Like, imagine, already, for better or for worse, if you want to go down that way, where and to whom you're being born is already a lottery in life. Like, if you're born to rich parents in a industrialized country, good for you. You have good chances. You will have access to healthcare, education, things like this. You'll probably do well, especially the wealthier your family is at the time you're born. It should go reasonably well. Or you're born in a poor village, in a place that is struggling. Well, fuck you then. It's much less likely that you will have anywhere near the same chances. And then there's Hinamizawa. You're born anywhere near where Oyashiro-sama has pissed on a stone once when he had a physical body, I guess. And then you live. Chie. Imagine Chie, who has never done anything to anybody as far as we know. Imagine if/when she learns there are other places in Japan that do amazing curry. Like, imagine if Tokyo becomes the curry city of the world, or at least Japan. And then Irie sits there on her couch reading Curry Weekly, you know, a curry magazine for curry lovers. And she's flipping through the pages, and then she just takes her magazine and she goes like, man, I wish I could live in Tokyo, the curry capital of the world. Bam! Cursed.
No.
Cursed.
Have you not been listening to Reina? That's not how it works.
No, cursed, because she now has the intent to leave. She loves curry so much she wants to move there.
You can even say you wish to leave or not, but obviously Oyashiro-sama knows whether you truly believe it, yes or no. Because even Satoshi-kun saying he doesn't want to leave, Oyashiro-sama knows, hey, unconsciously, he is planning on moving away from this city.
Yeah, but in my example, Chie now actively pursues the idea to move to Tokyo.
Just having a little thought.
No, not a little thought. I'm saying she wants to move there.
It.
She's going to move in 6 months. She has looked at her accounts. She knows what money she has.
You didn't say that. You said she just flipped through a magazine and then goes like, oh, I kind of wish I lived there. That's very different than...
And then she made plans.
Yeah, but you didn't say plans.
I'm sorry you didn't understand.
Like, how often have you looked at a place and go like, oh, I wish I would live there?
Never once.
I think that all the time.
Never.
And I'm still here. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because God being a yandere would be quite the understatement. This is fucked up. This is the most dumb ass shit. Like, these people need Ghostbusters.
He just has attachment issues. Just don't leave him. Then he's fine.
I'm sorry. Going back to the Chie thing. So now Chie wants to go to the curry capital of the world, Tokyo, because she chooses to want to go there. Punishing her for choosing to leave you. It's still messed up, but I could understand the logic behind that, because you go, I don't want to be left. Therefore you must die now. I will kill everybody you know. Because you want to leave me. I can get that messed up thinking. But this is worse. There's a kid, a literal child, in one of the shittiest situations possible. And Oyashiro-sama goes, yeah, so you're being treated like shit, your life is hell, and you want to leave.
Yeah, fix the problem.
That ain't cool in my book.
Kill them for all I care about and then keep living here. That is the way.
I hate Oyashiro-sama. Also, I need to pee.
Short break. BRB.
PRB.
We are back.
We are. Tifa had to help me after I went to the ladies' room. Also refresh some batteries, and now she had to walk outside of his room, and guess what? Now she's cold.
Yeah, exactly. It is cold outside this room.
Imagine turning on the heating iron.
There is no point because you covered it in blankets.
Imagine turning on the heating higher in every room.
It's completely wrapped up.
So, move the towels. Or fix the clonky sound.
I still had no idea what she was talking about.
I'm telling you, fix the clonky sound. Sorry. Meta.
I continued trying to figure out what she was saying. Yuki, nice to see you again. How are you doing?
Happy Friday. How are you doing? Welcome and that.
Everything he's going through is a sign of oyashiro-sama's curse. You feel like someone is watching you from a distance, and it follows you. Then it watches from right behind you. After that, you start hearing an extra footstep.
Jack jumpscare.
It only happens outside at first, but you start hearing it even inside your house after a while. Then oyashiro-sama keeps watching you even when you're sleeping in the dark. Right by your side, waiting silently for you to admit your sin. But wait, what was Keiichi's sin at first then?
In which chapter?
Let's start with chapter 2.
No, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with chapter 1.
Yeah, but I don't recall if he heard or felt anything in chapter 1. I think that started in chapter 2.
He started getting paranoid because he was told by Ooishi that he might be targeted. Kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tell somebody, hey, you should be paranoid, and then they go, oh, I'm paranoid. He slighted the S group, and not specifically them in chapter 1, but the village, by asking uncomfortable questions about what happened with a dam.
I don't think oyashiro-sama cares about that.
I don't know what he did, but he slighted his friends. He pushed with Reina first, I believe. He pushed with Mion, and then it all spiraled downhill.
Yeah, but when it comes to oyashiro-sama and him hearing these things, feeling these things, I want to say he doesn't care about your friendly quarrels.
I don't recall if he specifically said, I want to get out of Hinamizawa. I know he said he wants to get away from all of this, but... Yeah, that's it. There, he triggered oyashiro-sama's curse by saying, I don't want to be in a village that will probably kill me because I asked questions. There you go.
Yeah, okay, having the intent to leave at some point is probably enough.
We intend to leave because running away from my dear life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 2?
Just run in circles.
No.
You can run around the town?
Only Tifa. Chapter 2?
Like I said, I don't know. I was already thinking of chapter 2. It's been too long. Mind you, we started this in March.
Yeah, but
It's been almost a year.
Chapter 2, he gave a doll to the wrong person that made Mion mad.
Yeah, but he didn't hear footsteps or presences right after that.
In chapter 2, he wasn't cursed. He was not cursed by oyashiro-sama. That didn't happen.
I don't remember what I remember from which chapter right now.
Chapter 2 ends with him alive in a hospital at the end.
I'm quite sure that ending is hey, this is where I die moment.
No, Tifa, you're not gonna rewrite the story that we followed in each chapter. Chapter 2 ends with Keiichi in the hospital talking about how his family already moved back to Tokyo, I think it was, and how they're just waiting for him to feel better or good enough so that he can be transported / travel.
I'm 100% certain that he died there.
No, he didn't.
It's not said, but I think it's implied. Write it down. If he dies, write it down.
If he dies, write it down. What?
Write it down that he dies in the hospital in chapter 2. That's the wrong lane.
You're the wrong lane.
It's already the 24th.
Tifa says Keiichi dies at the end of chapter 2, even though he didn't.
I think that was one of those moments where you see his final time. Or his final moments.
There was nothing like that. Absolutely nothing.
That's how I remember envisioning it.
You could argue that if all timelines are kind of wibbly-wobbly at the same time, then this is the time he's in the hospital. But now he's stuck there. This is between him being admitted to the hospital. No, none of that could have worked because the quarantine never happened, because the gas eruption didn't happen in chapter 2.
He basically imagined, if I recall correctly, he basically imagined a zombie crawling over his bed out to get him. That is just before he gets a heart attack or something.
Zombie Mion.
Exactly. That is just before his death. I'm telling you, I know. I have the answer, but it's more fun to watch the argument. I know I'm right. But he doesn't.
I'm writing down Zombie Mion gets him.
No, that just... that was a hallucination.
Still went like... Hello, Mion. Something like this. He even talks to what he believes is a hallucination.
Yeah, exactly. That is a hallucination. Write that down behind it. Otherwise, in a year, when we finally get to discuss these things, you go like...
Tifa, by the way, I wrote down
Yeah, I can't see what I'm typing.
Hallucination.
Yeah, that's fine. I know what it is.
It's good for your skin, but it makes you see things.
Because then a year, we go like, oh, Zombie Mion gets him. And then I go like, I didn't say that. And then you go like, well, I wrote it down this way, so you did.
Potato. Chapter 3?
Exactly. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
You can go through all the chapters, but I do not know. If I knew for any of the chapters, I would have said
Chapter 3, he wishes death on everybody.
Yeah, but that's not a sin.
Yes.
Not for her.
Tifa, he doesn't want to leave Hinamizawa. He wants this Hinamizawa to not exist. That's the same thing. You cannot be in Hinamizawa if Hinamizawa doesn't exist.
Yeah, but he started wishing for everyone in Hinamizawa to die. At a later point...
That's not what I'm saying. Listen to the words I'm saying, not what you think I'm saying, please.
Yeah, but we're discussing the trigger.
I just gave you the trigger.
But that came later in the chapter when he was already hearing footsteps. The footsteps were already there when he started planning to kill Teppei. And only later...
After.
Was it after?
Yeah, only after the murder. Before was paranoia, the footsteps specifically happened after he yoinked the guy.
I think it's still the same thing, but fair enough. But even then, he only started to wish everyone to die at a much later point. That didn't come with him killing Teppei, because there he was still...
Now I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah, there he was still imagining, hey, after I kill Teppei, we all live our happy little lives in the village, be friends forever, la-di-la-di-la.
How about we just agree that Oyashiro-sama is a little bitch? And the rules are stupid.
Then we can agree too.
Also, effectively, Oyashiro-sama is a guardian deity. He will do whatever he wants because I'm a guardian deity. Or you pray to me the wrong way. Maybe it's like a Shenmue kind of thing. Oh my god, you gave me dried tofu strips instead of the squid legs on my shrine. Therefore I punish you now.
If Jack ever walks into Hinamizawa now, instant heart attack.
No.
You will get killed off immediately.
Yes, but not like that. No. I will go to real life Hinamizawa and real life Oyashiro-sama's curse is gonna strike me. I will die from getting my heart punctured from the super high-pressured piss stream of a cicada. Yes, I'm bringing cicada piss back, people. It's been too long since we brought that up.
Well, you have to be a bit more realistic. The cicada would pee in your eye.
No, piss. That's not pee. This isn't just like, haha, tinkle, tinkle. This is high-pressure Pokemon hydro cannon piss.
Okay, yeah, fine. The cicada pisses in your eye, causes an infection.
No, you don't have an eye left after. It's gonna go.
Spreads in your body. I'm telling you to be realistic. Which spreads into your body, and then you die.
I'm sorry, we're not always like this. That's a lie. We're always varying degrees of it. Don't cut yourself on fedora, milady.
Yeah.
Always, my entire life as a ever since I was a teenager, I wanted to get a hat because I thought it would make me look cool and mysterious. Way before I ever saw the fedora memes. My problem is that I have a very large hat and I can never find a hat that fits. Otherwise, I would own a fedora probably.
I had a fedora.
That is true.
I wore it actively.
Can you believe it? Not me. Her. Her. But I do have a katana. So I'm like, we're both 50-50% of a meme. You know?
I was so cool.
Sorry, I made another line up here.
Satoshi told me he was having nightmares at first. So I asked him what kind of dreams he was having. And those dreams he was having, as it turned out, were just like mine. I warned him that the presence would become bigger. He'd hear an extra footsteps and feel the presence watching him in his sleep. I told him to come to me if that ever happened. He must have been suspicious at first, but just as I predicted, he started to feel Oyashiro-sama's presence more strongly. He finally realized he could talk to me about it. Reina didn't look like she was joking. She just calmly told me what had been going on. I couldn't even move. I couldn't tell if her words were a joke or the truth. I could only feel stunned. I'm from Hinamizawa originally, but I moved to Ibaraki.
Yes, Ibaraki.
I was gonna say Ibiraki.
Every time a Japanese word pops up, Tifa goes...
Yeah, because I don't read before I start talking.
Yeah, so Ibaraki.
Yeah, but if I then stumble over it, I need to redo it. Because in my mind, I already fill in blanks.
Tifa sees Iba and Ki and thinks Ibuki from Street Fighter.
Well, don't you never have that when you read and sometimes you start fusing the things that you've already read?
Never. No. Not even once in my life have I flipped words reading two together. Can't say I have, no.
That's how the Yu-Gi-Oh! Baseball team came, because the word before it had a U in it.
You understand I'm bullshitting you, right? I do that every day, 16 times at least.
I'm from Hinamizawa originally, but I moved to Ibaraki Prefecture right before I went to elementary school. However, when I couldn't adjust to my new environment, Oyashiro-sama frequently started telling me to return to Hinamizawa in my head. But I couldn't do anything since I was just a little kid. I was forced to live there, though I felt threatened by Oyashiro-sama's voice. Then... Reina paused. It looked like she didn't want to go into the details of what followed. In general, she confused me even more. Anyway, I was able to come back here in the end. Oyashiro-sama forgave me. I haven't felt his presence anymore since then. Satoshi-kun is being subjected to the curse even though he's in Hinamizawa.
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 This is now an offensively American accent stream. Welcome in everybody, I'm Jack, this is Tifa, we're playing some visual novels.
Why?
No.
Satoshi-kun is being subjected to the curse even though he's in Hinamizawa. Why? There can only be one reason. It's because he wishes to abandon. It's because he wishes to abandon Hinamizawa. Oyashiro-sama won't allow that. After a series of inner monologues, he confessed. You know he's working part-time, don't you? The teddy bear he's getting for Satoko-chan costs about 100,000 yen. And he's trying to get the money by her birthday. Have you not noticed yet? It means the same thing.
No.
Have you noticed it yet or have you not noticed yet?
Different.
Same thing.
No.
Have you noticed it yet? Think about it like this. If he had that amount of money, that'd be enough for him to run away somewhere far from here. He unconsciously started to think about that, about leaving Satoko-chan behind. But he'd feel very guilty. As you pointed out, Satoko-chan is a burden on him. He's not stupid, so he's aware of that. He just doesn't want to admit it because he's the one who's supposed to protect his little sister. He's been struggling with himself. He thinks he's working to please Satoko-chan on her birthday. But he also feels that he might be deceiving himself because he unconsciously wants to skip town with that money. I don't think he should run away. Even if he did, he'd regret it for the rest of his life. Oyashiro-sama knows that. That's why Oyashiro-sama is trying to warn him. I hope Satoshi-kun stops thinking of abandoning Satoko-chan. He's working hard to make it to Satoko-chan's birthday, which is a couple of days after the Watanagashi festival. He's pushing himself too hard. He believes it will end when I keep mixing up Satoko and Satoshi.
While
now.
Tifa is recovering really quickly, I have a question. Where was it? They're talking from like a kid's perspective, right? From like these 14, 15, 16-year-olds talking. Because I remember in a previous chapter them going like, yeah, but the money he made to buy the teddy bear wouldn't be nearly enough to start a new life by himself somewhere else. Tifa just looked it up. 100,000 yen is like, adjusted for inflation, let's say 800 bucks?
Nah, like 1,000 if anything.
1,000 man? Like,
that's enough.
That's enough to... How cheap do you think life is?
Back then, much cheaper, yes. That is 100% enough to run away somewhere, maybe find a place to stay for a little bit and get a job.
I doubt that.
I think I have more experience with that.
I doubt that a 15-year-old has the ability to, in the spur of a moment, grab the money he saved up for a teddy bear, get on the next train, buy a ticket for the next train out of town, end up wherever the fuck, and go, okay, I'm budgeting now. I need to find shelter, I need to
You are thinking rationally. A kid that is planning to run away from home does not think like that. So yes, that is exactly what he thinks. And it would be enough, assuming you get a job.
Remember how I prefaced my argument with they're thinking about this from a kid's perspective? Because we also, in one of the chapters, dealt with the question, would that be enough to run away successfully? Probably not.
I want to say yes. Even from my adult perspective, yes.
Tried to run away once as a kid and only packed literally one single sandwich.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Fair.
So the answer is yes.
Fair.
And even now, I think running away with, let's say, 1,000 bucks, yes, is enough. I have moved to another country with less in my pocket. Twice even.
It's not the kind of thing I would do. Also, there was something else that irked me. Where was it? I didn't want to interrupt the flow of this. He felt threatened, she's getting confused.
Are you sure I'm trying to warn him?
What? Nobody's trying to warn anybody here.
No, that was the text. Oyashiro-sama is lingering over him to warn him that he's gonna make a mistake. I thought that's what There, if he did, he'd regret it. That's why Oyashiro-sama is trying to warn him. I'm trying to help you with finding the spots.
You're just confusing me more because that wasn't it. Where was it? Nah, the train in my head is gone. It ran off of a thought. It's fine. If it comes back, I'll tell you.
He's pushing himself too hard. He believes it will end when Satoko-chan's birthday comes. The curse keeps cautioning him, while he tries to figure out whether he should leave or continue protecting her. The torrential rain didn't seem to want to stop. It kept pouring down on the galvanized iron roof, producing a loud noise. Yet in the shack it felt completely silent. What the hell was Reina talking about? I couldn't grasp even half of what she was saying. The only thing I had figured out is that Satoshi-kun was struggling, confused, and in lots of pain. He's suffering from Oyashiro-sama's curse? And Reina has experienced that before? The Watanagashi festival was right around the corner. He believes it will end after then because he's planning on killing his aunt already.
Not sure about that. Not sure about that.
I think that also explains his mood and everything, because it's a normal kid who's usually not like that, wanting to or planning to kill his aunt and things.
We're only in chapter 4 out of I think like 14 or so for this game. And I keep saying chapter 2 because that's what the game calls them. I'm just gonna call them episodes. Episode 4, I think, out of like 14. So there's still plenty to go. Plenty of things that can go horribly wrong.
Yeah. Oyashiro-sama's curse had struck 3 years in a row. There was no guarantee that it wouldn't strike a 4th time. Satoshi-kun was subject to Oyashiro-sama's curse even now? Was he going to skip town? Was he going to be the next victim of Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, he might disappear forever. Could I do something to prevent it? If I didn't do anything, it would all come to a hopeless end. And? I started feeling a sense of dread. I didn't buy the crazy story Reina told me. But if something really was happening to Satoshi-kun which might bring about some kind of an end, I couldn't help feeling scared. It's true, isn't it? My instinct is always correct. I decided to contact Mion despite the danger. Mion got upset at first, but she had to listen to me. Sis, what's going on with Satoshi-kun? He looks really stressed out. I can't even talk to him. What do you mean? You don't know what's going on because you can't talk to him? Sorry. Sis, give me another chance to trade spots again. That's fine. But I'm kind of busy lately attending meetings for the festival. What are you planning to do? Another part-time job? I'm going to your school.
I told you they've actually traded places before.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I even agreed, and I've said it myself.
Good.
The only thing I said where I don't think they have traded places is in actual family meetings.
Good. But I think they did that too at some point.
Oreo would see straight through that.
No, she wouldn't.
There is no way Oreo would not notice that.
I believe in my number one girl shield.
Nah.
No, I don't actually.
Let's do the tips.
It's easy to idolize or to start getting a skewed view of a main character because you spend so much time with them and you read their thoughts and their motivations and what drives them. But Shion is flawed. Just as much, if not more, than every other character we've met. Especially with a very selfish attitude.
I have never seen a not flawed teenager.
You didn't meet me, my friend. No.
Love is a hell of
I was the worst. Yep.
And that too.
Yep.
Makes you do weird things.
Yeah, like move to Germany.
Yeah, well, for sure.
I don't like the energy you just gave that. But thank you. I do appreciate it. Let's check out those tips. Notebook pages 21 and 24. Let's do notebook page 21 first.
We're skipping things.
That's you.
Why don't I relate my encounter with that creepy girl in the rain? Her name is Reina Ryugu. Her real first name is Reina.
Are we doing a recap of what just happened?
I hope not. I have no idea what kind of girl she really is.
Best girl. Actually, I would say by the point we're in the story now, best girl to me... My voice is suddenly very raspy. Husky, like a dark chocolate melting in your mouth. And let me enjoy this. I never sound manly. Now suddenly I do. A little bit more at least. Thinking between Satoko and Rika, I'm gonna go with Rika.
Satoko has been my favorite from the start, so I stick with Satoko.
My problem with Satoko is that I still am not fully convinced either way on what has happened with the previous stepfathers.
Does that matter?
Yeah, it does to me. While I understand a child going, I don't want you to take my mommy away from me, and then acting out and doing stupid things. Stupid from the perspective of a 35-year-old. I don't love it if she did that.
She was like 5.
Yes. I don't blame her. I'm saying I understand why, if that is what happened, it happened. But I don't love it.
Yeah, the others also haven't done thing. Mion has fucking killed several people and ditched their bodies in a well. Shion is also some kind of freak who has, I'm pretty sure certain, has stabbed Keiichi.
Good thing I brought up neither one in my battle for first place.
And that is true, yep.
Yeah. Thank you for getting mad about things that were never brought up. This is one of those peak Tifa moments. Well, she's a bitch, and she's fucked up, and fuck her too, and why aren't you with her if you love her so much? I never mentioned these people. Yeah, well...
That's true.
You have a good point.
Shion did nothing wrong, Shion did everything wrong.
Ooh, Shion, my god, I don't know about that.
And true, Chie, there hasn't been anything about Chie yet. Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
True. Shion did nothing. Listen, I'm okay with you believing that. The way I take it, Shion is doing plenty wrong. Or has, as far as my image of her goes.
They're all victims of their environment. Can't be helped, can't be helped.
Well, in the nature versus nurture debate, I am on team nurture. Very much. I do believe your surroundings, the way you... your surroundings, the way you grew up, be it culturally, values, whatever you want to call it, that informs and shapes your character or you as a person more than your DNA does. That does too, to a degree, but I want to say it's 90-10, simply because, I mean, I don't have any counterexamples where I think somebody was like born evil outside
1910 what, by the way?
90% nurture versus 10% nature. I don't think the general person is born good or evil. I think that happens later on in life. But
I think those odds are too high, but
hard to say. Yeah, that's fine. Do I believe all of these girls would have... Yeah, they're all girls. And Satoshi, I guess. Would they all have turned out differently if they were in a different place? Yeah. I do think so. Definitely. Not having the cudgel of Oyashiro-sama's curse if you fart the wrong way hanging over you. Oh, he looked at there was a new travel agency in town, and he looked at the poster a second too long. Hello there, I'm Oyashiro-sama. Do you hear my foot? That's gonna fuck with you. That's gonna mess you up.
God forbid girls have
have
hobbies.
hobbies.
Yeah, a bit of stabbing and stuff is alright, right?
It's passion, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to have somebody super infatuated with them and kiss the ground that they stand on? Yeah, of course, totally.
I have no idea what kind of girl she really is. One thing is certain, she has no relation to the Sonozaki family. She has no relation to the three families as a whole either. The Ryugi family used to live in Hinamizawa.
Ryugi?
But then they moved to Ibaraki. That was before she went to elementary school. They returned to Hinamizawa some years later. Reina Ryugu said she came back because Oyashiro-sama told her to. I don't know what that means. She said it was the curse of Oyashiro-sama. That Oyashiro-sama had stalked her. I think that was probably a hallucination, but Satoshi-kun had been interested in that experience. She said that Satoshi-kun was also experiencing Oyashiro-sama's curse.
Could it be mass hysteria? I think we've talked about this before on stream. When you... How do I say this? You don't normally... No, wait, we start again. If somebody puts the idea of Oyashiro-sama's curse in your head, you are more likely to consider Oyashiro-sama's curse a possibility. And if I tell you, do you feel watched? Do you feel like somebody's following you? Do you sometimes hear footsteps? If you're already in a mental state where you are open to those kind of suggestions, then it's easier to see and hear the things you've been told you will see and hear than not.
Could be.
Because I'm thinking Satoshi lives in an abusive household where everything he and his sister do is scrutinized by his abusive guardians. So I want to say already there's an air of feeling like somebody is always watching you. Because his aunt, his uncle, they're just waiting for them to make a mistake so that they blow up, right? They seem to actively pursue reasons to yell at them. That would make me paranoid. Like, I've been in a situation at work like this before where somebody thought I was making tons of mistakes. That made me feel so uneasy that I started making mistakes. You know, like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing.
Yeah, but here everyone having the same dreams, same experiences, seems slightly... I see where you're coming from, but seems slightly different.
But are they really having the same visions and dreams and hallucinations because that just happens to be the case? Or is it because they are brought up with the idea Oyashiro-sama is gonna punish you? It's like Santa Claus. Little kids will think if they hear a weird rustling sound on Christmas Eve, oh, it's Santa Claus. Because they've been told it's Santa Claus.
But that's not mass hallucination.
Is that mass hysteria? Yeah, wrong word maybe, but auto-suggestion at that point. You nurture, your surroundings tell you Oyashiro-sama is real. If you start feeling watched, if you start feeling scrutinized, if you start having these thoughts and these experiences, that's Oyashiro-sama telling you you're going the wrong way and you're cursed and bad things are gonna happen. And now I'm in a situation where outside of anything that has to do with Oyashiro-sama, for completely different reasons, I start experiencing these things. Lots of people grew up with that belief. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Not fully convinced yet.
Have you ever looked at something? Maybe you're walking down the street and you thought you saw movement in the corner of your eye. Something in a shadow.
I permanently see movement, so in shadows.
Yes.
So yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
I usually have that more when I'm stressed out than just like in the corners of my eyes. I think things are moving, or like when somebody turns on a light when that startles me in a way, because like I get like sensitive to these kinds of things. It's kind of weird, but that's what it is. I can live with it. It's not bad. But if I told you, Tifa, that did you know that the only people who see shadows move in the corner of their eyes are people who have sinned against God and will go to hell? People who have sinned against our God and will go to hell, they're being punished. So they're likely to have accidents. Now you are a somewhat comically clumsy person. You once burned your mouth, then broke your toe in a comedy of errors. But
you need a specific mindset and I want to say personality to go along with that. I do not have that, so the answer would be no.
But wait, stop. So you've been told these things ever since you were a little child, and in the last 3 years, murders have happened exactly the way I told you would happen if you are a bad child. It's what Shion said earlier in this chapter.
But that's not what they really grew up with. Oyashiro-sama's curse for the kids only started coming up recently.
Yeah, but with an intensity that was up until that point unknown. It went from, hey, have you heard about Oyashiro-sama? Oh, no, I haven't. What's that? And then they talk about it and then nobody cares. And then the 3 murders happen and then you go, okay, fuck, yeah, no, yeah.
It could be the answer to all of the entire story, because you can explain everything with that technically.
Culturally predisposed to suggestions, yes. I have paranoia-induced hallucinations, used to get them real bad. How does that manifest, if you don't mind me asking?
Like, what triggers that?
I've said this before, the only hallucinations, if you want to call them that, I have, is when I get a really high fever. I start seeing things that I know don't exist, so I don't think I'm in any danger to myself. And sometimes I see pink elephants. It's not a pink elephant like you would like you would draw a pink elephant, but I see a shape. And if I have to describe that shape, it's a pink elephant. And usually it's walking around the room. I don't think I visually see one, but I perceive one. Does that make sense? It's a weird...
Oh yeah, you fill in the shape yourself.
Yeah. Like, I feel the air move different. It's a strange sensation. You know, stress, paranoia. So like horror movies and stuff like that would make me more likely to have it. Okay.
It's when you watch one of those movies where something is after you, and then when you go to bed, you start looking under your bed to make sure there's nothing under that. Like I can imagine that's sort of kind of the start.
I mean, you know better than me, but as far as things like horror movies are concerned, I want to say that should be relatively easy to avoid, though, right? Because, like, I have a certain type of photosensitivity, type of epilepsy, I guess. If I'm in certain conditions with light and sound, my blood pressure just sinks over the next 5 minutes. It will just crash, and then I'll pass out for a moment. But I can avoid that, usually, because I can just turn on the light, or I can completely turn off the light, or I can make music louder, or I can just go for a walk. I can remove myself from the situation 99.9% of the time. So I can avoid those triggers, which makes this very manageable for me.
It was also a self-feeding thing, I think. Like, if I thought I saw something, it would stress me out, make it worse. Couldn't always recognize it in the moment, but I've gotten better at identifying it and trying to stop myself from spiraling it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I can imagine that can be very hard, because in the moment you are stressed, you see something, it triggers even more. You're
beginning to fight fear.
Yeah, you start to get even more stressed. And you get into like this spiral where it gets harder to take a moment.
You have to avoid being stressed, so getting stressed stresses you. Or the idea of getting stressed can stress you. Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah.
But I'm really happy you've been able to get better at that, because that can be scary.
Yes, definitely. It feels real even if it isn't. And I think that's hard for people to get. No, I don't have the same experience, but I think I understand enough to understand that it sucks and how that
Yeah, but if your
Feels
body believes it is in danger, it will react to it.
Yeah, even if you, like, as long as you perceive something that makes you feel fear, like, good luck fighting that. You tell somebody who is afraid, just stop being afraid.
People really underestimate what the human body can be capable of.
Yeah.
Like, it's not on the same scale, but kind of works the same, like with fake
Only
pregnancies.
it worked like that. Yeah, just stop. Yeah. Yes.
Like when you really believe you're pregnant, even though you're not. Like,
Yeah, your body can start to show symptoms of pregnancy.
Yeah, you have women that start like producing milk, and you
Yeah.
also see it in like wolf packs and stuff, where if one
Skill issue. That is so disrespectful. Yes, exactly.
It's unfortunately though, a lot of people think that way. Because that really is what most people go through. Yeah, well,
no, don't worry, we heard the sarcasm in that. My dad is that kind of person. Why don't depressed people just go outside? Yeah, fuck you, first of all, but also that's not how any of that works. In a way, I'm jealous of my dad because I think he's immune to things like this. He cannot grasp. Like, he understands if somebody feels bad. Cool. Like, you know, at that point, he gets it. But he cannot grasp certain things. Like, I've been to therapy twice in my life, as a kid and as a teenager, and he understands that helped me, but he doesn't believe in therapy. Like, to him, it was all quacks.
Yeah, but the thing is,
and it's like,
that is from a personal experience. Like, I have gone through some shit as well. I'm more down to earth about it, but if I then hear people, and like your dad too, yeah, your dad has also gone through shit, and he has gone like a whole lot of crap,
kind of like Satoko,
and he has gone through it in his own way.
Yeah.
And then you think about, okay, other people have gone through this, but I went through it this way. Like, why can't they?
No.
Like, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's not how he thinks.
But that's how I often think, to be honest.
Yeah, because you are biased, even if you wouldn't want to be, because you have experienced things in a certain way, and you have your own memories of that, the things you learned from that. So it's like that colors how you feel and how you think about it.
Yeah, but your dad is exactly the same. It's like, oh, I laughed and got over it. They can too. Like, just go outside, take a walk, and it will be fine. That's exactly what your dad did.
I still think it's different, but let's not make this about my dad.
It's exactly the same.
I got my grandma is like that too. She'd be like, you're just stressed. Like, yes, of course.
I mean, everything you do, you say, you experience, it's all based on, and how you judge people or things, it's all based on your own experiences.
Of course.
And if you had nothing to do with like something you're experiencing, it's hard to put yourself in it, and that I think that's also where the just smile, comes from.
Try doing walks, the effect wears off too quickly. Keep walking. Sorry. /s. One last thing about my dad. The lack of empathy thing. I will never understand. That's not related to him specifically, but to like everybody that I've had the displeasure of meeting that is like this. When people tell you I'm in pain, or like I'm going through something, I feel like shit, it sucks, I hurt emotionally, sometimes physically from it, but emotionally mostly. And then people go, I just smile. Something like this. When people don't seem to understand at all, like, you don't need to understand what the person is going through. I don't need to have had the same experiences as anybody else. But when somebody tells me, I'm hurt, I'm hurting, I've been hurt before, and I know I didn't like that. So I can empathize with that at least.
Yeah, but sometimes that is really hard. Because sometimes you also go like, I'm hurt. And we've had arguments about this
Plenty.
before, like no secret.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like, but why?
Yeah.
But I don't get it in those situations either. And I think I'm already the less sensitive one
That's
of
true.
both of us.
We have thought about this before when that happened.
Like, I'm more down to earth, bit less emotional, don't really grasp all emotions either. And you are like this emotional
I am
bulb.
the most sensitive person in this room.
Basically. So sometimes he's like, oh, my feelings are hurt. And I'm like, Why are your feelings hurt?
What feelings and why?
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's on you.
Can you show me on the map what feeling you're talking about, Jack? Because I'm not feeling your feeling.
So I'm just saying, I can understand why people come to it.
But there's the difference. You accept that even you might not be feeling it yourself, you might not understand it, but you see that I'm hurt. Are they just willing or unable to empathize? Honestly, with some people, I think they're unwilling. They just... Their unwillingness makes them unable. Because they go, yeah, no, I don't care. I don't care. Enough.
I mean, to be fair, there's plenty of assholes. Like, just assholes. There's no reason behind it. They're just a dick.
Some people are just shit people.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
And sometimes that's all the reason or motivation someone needs.
Yeah.
And there's no deeper meaning behind it or deeper thoughts. It's just...
And now watch this. I'm gonna make this talk go full circle like this coaster. And that's why I think Rika is #1 girl. What?
We haven't learned shit about her yet. There might still come something.
No, hard disagree. We have learned plenty about Rika. I'm sorry, first of all, Tifa, #1 argument, Meep. Second, Nipa.
Rika's really cute, I fully agree.
I rest my case, people.
We have nothing on her yet, but I feel like I resonate more with Satoko regardless.
Yeah, Satoko is like Tifa in an alternative universe. 100%. Yeah. I see that. When Tifa does her Satoko voice, I feel it. I don't hear it, I feel it. I see Satifako in front of my mental eye. Yeah.
Aside from the Tsunezaki twins, Rika is my favorite. I mean, understandable.
Good taste. Your opinion is objectively correct. No. It's better than unable, because there's room to improve at least. I like to think that, yeah.
Yeah, unwilling is more like...
that might change.
You could, but you just refuse to.
I will say Mion is underrated, though.
Between the twins, Mion is the best twin. Mion at first was one of my favorite characters until Satoko came along.
Yeah, I mean, we're only at this point in the game, but I can see how Mion could be underrated. I don't see it yet, but I see pathways to get to that point.
Yeah, between Mion and Shion, it's Mion.
Especially from what Chapter 5 sets up with a whole you had me at when we were kids and only Mion would get a piece of candy, she looked over at me to see if it was okay if she ate the candy. Like, that makes my heart grow. I feel my chest hurt from my heart going...
Even before this chapter already. But let's finish this.
I can't say much until you're finished.
That's still gonna be a while.
Write it down. We're gonna talk about this same moment in, I want to say...
Couple months.
July. Probably. I don't know.
I wasn't joking earlier if you heard that when I said we started in March.
Yeah. True, we took like
2026, yeah.
In total, I think we took like 2 months break. Because November and stuff, but yeah. It's about a chapter per month, I want to say, roughly.
Since you want to get into the developer business, Skinner, that's one trick I can tell you that I have learned at my work. Never put a year behind the date.
It's gonna be done in March. Didn't say which year.
No, I kid you not. That is how our...
That's disgusting.
Company has started developing our softwares and products.
Skinner.
Never put yourself down by putting a year behind it.
Counterpoint. If you are working in an environment where that is a valid strategy, leave. No.
Can't pin you down if you're too late.
If things are delayed for reasons, we can talk about the reasons. If things are just delayed because somebody is being a piece of shit, fuck them.
Well, it's a running joke at this point. The moment you're late, it's like, oh, you meant 2027.
I hear the same issue everywhere. It's like, would you rather do that than crunch time? Do you want to?
I would rather do anything but crunch time.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Okay.
Talking about crunch, Tifa, let's get through these
Let's get back
tips.
through the notes. Satoshi-kun told her that he was being followed by some unknown existence. He was surprised to learn that Reina had the same experience before. What is Oyashiro-sama's curse? Why did Reina and Satoshi-kun have a similar experience? I believe that means somebody put them under surveillance. Somebody must be spying on the next victim of the curse. Since Reina and Satoshi-kun both blindly believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse, they interpreted it as Oyashiro-sama's presence.
Imagine, it was a press A moment the entire time. Remember this whole argument I had earlier? But I said it first, so therefore now you know I was thinking it before the game put it in my thoughts.
If paranoia kicked in, they'd feel as if they were experiencing paranormal phenomena.
Can we just skip the rest? Because we talked about all of this.
Judging from what Reina said, it seems that Satoshi-kun had been put on surveillance since long before Watanagashi. So, one question comes to mind.
Who is doing this surveying?
Why were they watching Reina? I'm assuming that this surveillance was placed on the victim-to-be of that year. Yeah, but Reina doesn't get explained. Reina started hearing voices that from Oyashiro-sama directly, according to her, telling her to go back when she wasn't even in Hinamizawa.
I don't have an answer to that, but I can tell you that the "you need to go back" was a plotline in the Digimon movie.
Yeah, but her hysteria...
Wow, she just skips that.
Yeah, because her hysteria can't be explained by this. But, no.
Skinner gets it, thank you.
If so, I don't understand why Reina went through it.
That is true though.
Why did they watch her even though she was living so far away? If she was considered somebody who abandoned the village, I could understand. But she didn't fall victim in the end. Maybe she was forgiven because she came back to Hinamizawa. I guess she still knows something I don't. And putting her under surveillance doesn't make sense either because she's a little kid.
I'm sorry, for 1 second we need to go back to that last screen really quick.
I swear if you click through it, you're not doing this again.
1 second, please bear with me. Capture cursor. There's a cute dog here. The dog is falling backwards or standing. You need to, if you're watching on a phone, you're in luck. Please rotate your phone 180 degrees, like not like this, but like this.
So only see balls.
That's a you issue. Yeah, look like this. Or if you're watching like us, tilt your head to the right. So this is the head, this is the snout. Here's one eye, here's the other. Here's big floppy ears. And here's the body of a dog. Little leg, body.
If anything, that's a cursed cow.
Big leg. I wonder if Jack saw something in the background. And then you mentioned the dog. You saw it too.
There is no dog.
Yes, there is. It's like a balloon sausage dog, like a duckle or a dachshund kind of thing. Yeah. Here's the snout. It's a bit longer. It's like I will do it for you. That kind of dog. Then the ears, the big floppy ears, or the eyes here, big floppy ears.
A little bear cup for me. I'll stick to cursed cow.
Alright, I can see that too.
Like a cow with a skull face.
Also, the next one is going to be nightmare material. You've been warned. Over here, in this shape, I see two things. First, I see a demon version of Eggman from Sonic. So, this is the head. That's the shape. This is the forehead with the bald hair. And then you have like this demon energy coming out of the left eye. And the same over here on the right eye, but with more shadow on it. Then you have the nose. And then here you have like the mustache, the Eggman mustache, and the mouth.
No,
he's looking like down here.
For once, I'm not seeing it.
Or, if you tilt your head to the left side, it's a tilted version of the moon from Majora's Mask. Here is the two big crazy eyes and then the big nose. And then this is the face. I can't stretch more, my body doesn't allow it. You don't see it?
No.
None of it?
No.
Yeah, you also didn't see the dog, so screw you. Alright, thank you. That's what I had to show you.
Well, I say we do the second tip on Sunday, because I would still really like to have a moment before we play Mario Kart with Skinner in 10 minutes. And just you going through the tip will be 10 minutes.
This is the cue for all of you to boo her. Fine then. Imagine saving tips for later. But so far, by the way, we're having an amazing pace. We're back to 1 episode per stream. That's quite fast, I feel like.
There was a chapter where we had that in the beginning too, until it suddenly started longer. On stream? Yes, on stream.
Us? No. But
on Skinner's stream.
On Skinner's and Benjima's, yes. Not here, there. Which direction is their stream?
I'm gonna go with that way.
I think that way.
Well, I would go that way.
Yes.
If Skinner and Benjima are fine with it and you would like to play Mario Kart as well,
Weast.
10 minutes, Skinner's or Benjima's channel.
Can I bet on Skinner to win? That depends on Skinner and Benjima if I do predictions. It's gonna be 48 courses, so it's up to them, first of all, whether I want to do this, but also whether they do 48 individual predictions or just one for the whole pod. I would bet on myself. I'm pretty confident in my ability to Mario Kart. I haven't played in over a year though.
Same. I haven't played in a while, but we plan on doing every single cup, so...
Is anyone really gonna win at the end of it all though?
Yeah,
yes.
Of course. Of course.
All of us were having fun together.
But I believe the points are based per cup, no? I don't remember...
I have no idea.
I don't believe the points add up for all cups. Like after every cup you have a winner announced, I think, if I recall correctly.
I think it depends on how you set it up. If you just choose all 48 tracks one after another, then that's just one continuous score.
No, I don't remember anymore. I don't remember.
It's a lack of Mario Kart 8, I'm feeling. It's about to change.
It has been too long. Is either of you already online, actually?
No.
No.
Playing New Year's Eve, drunk, and I was sat about 170 degrees to the side of the TV screen. Okay, so you did like a... Impressive. Did you still win though?
It's been way too long. I think the last time if I played it was with you guys, and that was a while ago.
Yes.
And with Ranger, where we tried to do like 100 Royal Raceway rounds, and Ranger kept picking random.
Random Ranger Sal. That is his energy.
But yeah, Mario Kart in 10 minutes with Skinner and Benjima in either direction. We'll see who gets there
Weast.
First.
Skinner confirmed the direction to find Skinner and Benjima is Weast.
I don't know where Weast is, so it could still be in either of those two directions.
Weast is a direction you feel in your heart. I think this is where the heart is. Complaining when I was using half a Joy-Con. Good. Good.
Hey, we'll be playing with half a Joy-Con as well. I was thinking of playing on my own Switch, but turns out we only have one copy of Mario Kart, so we have to share the controllers too.
Imagine playing a multiplayer game in a multiplayer kind of setting. Since neither of those lazy bums is on their stream yet, I cannot rate them. But please check out Skinner whenever is convenient for you, and check out Benjima whenever is convenient for you. In about 5 minutes, both of them should be live, roughly, I think. You don't have 4 Joy-Cons? Yes, we do.
We do, but the other set has Joy-Con drift.
I'll take those. I've played with those before. I don't mind.
We'll see.
It shall not stop me from destroying Skinner live on air. I don't think I will. But it would be funny if I did. I'm just saying. Tifa, dost thou have any nuggets of wisdom to disperse?
No.
She still hasn't given me a different line to say.
It's 9:25, yeah, exactly.
We're telling you.
And I would like to not be late, so I'm gonna press the end stream button so that we can see you on time.
Thank you everybody for higuring some rushes with us. We'll be back on Sunday with more of that. If you can, check out Skin and Benjima later. Mario Kart. Bye!
Bye!